Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? I've just been handed an urgent, horrifying news story. And I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
No. Football operations fault.
Yeah. Well, after 2 weeks off, we are back in the studio.
Hello.
A couple of us pretty sick. I'm still kind of getting over a cold here, so bear with us. We'll see how this show goes.
I'm sick with
We're
it.
pretty much winging it today because it's Christmas season. I haven't spent much time looking into anything.
Yeah, and our board's just a bunch of lines.
Yeah,
Got some eggnog for us in here, or what?
yeah, my daughter
dude.
hijacked the board
I
and
love some
erased
eggnog.
everything on it and whatever that is supposed to be. That's what
You
it
know
is.
what you got to do? You got to give her the Tyreek Hill treatment. She won't do it again. Oh, my God.
Oh Lord, welcome back.
Hey, how you doing, everybody? Happy holidays.
I should probably put us up on the screen, huh?
Yeah, probably.
That might help. First things first.
They might like our picture.
Well, got to knock the rust off. 2 weeks off.
Yeah, knock the off the IR.
Yes, absolutely. But we're going to talk some things that because we've been off for 2 weeks. So in 2 weeks in the NFL is an eternity.
I'll tell you one thing I'd really like to talk about today.
What's that?
Some of these top 100 lists.
I really like to talk about why you're wearing that weird hat you got on.
The hat you got me?
I didn't get it. My daughter did.
Your daughter did.
Yep. Well, my wife did.
Okay.
Said it was from me and my daughter.
All right. Well, whatever. Anyway, I would like to talk about some of these 100 lists.
Yeah, we'll
at
get
some point, especially wide receivers.
We'll get into the top.
That one needs to
100
get talked about.
I started watching the
I can't
episode
watch it.
and my freaking DVR kept freezing. So I had to re-record this morning's
gross.
episode. So I haven't seen the wide receivers yet.
I'll tell you what, they whitewashed the shit out of that list.
Literally.
Literally.
I didn't see the list.
But anywho.
I haven't looked into it too much. I briefly looked at the wide receiver list and immediately was like, why isn't Terrell Owens on this list?
Oh, dude, don't
Wait, it's
destroy
a
the whole
100
topic
list and
right
he
now.
wasn't on it.
He was held out?
Yeah, don't destroy the whole topic yet until
Well,
we get,
you know
want to
why.
go into it right now? We can go
We
into it
can
right
start
now.
out with
Let's
it.
bring
I don't
the
know
list
the
up.
list, so
we're
you're gonna have
gonna
to
wing
pop
it.
it up.
Let's bring the list
we
up.
can
I'll
wing
bring
it,
it
pop
up.
it up.
We're gonna
I'm
wing this
disgusted.
entire show.
I'm disgusted.
Yeah,
I could-
so Terrell Owens was left off the list, but there was players like Largent.
Largent
also, I
Largent
love-
belon's on a top 100 list.
But
100 is
no,
100.
This was
Well,
the top
I
10.
think it was 10 receivers,
They
right?
broke it. Yeah,
10? Okay,
It's
10.
billed as the top 100, and they show you the 10. Largent was in 10. Again, huge Largent fan. I
Good.
think Largent was amazing.
Yeah.
But let's just hold on. Let me bring this up. Top.
But if he's in there, T.O. has to be in there.
Yes.
You gonna pull it up?
Yep.
I'm gonna share this while you do that.
Well, here's the thing. I found it funny. And I don't know if you guys saw my post. When they had the finalists before they aired all the 10 that made the list, was they had John Stallworth on there, but not Lynn Swan.
Mhm.
Yeah.
How could
Kinda
you
odd.
name one a finalist but not the other? Especially the one that made two of the most amazing catches in Super Bowl history: the kangaroo catch on the near sideline, and of course, the dive going down the seam. Up in midair.
What was their criteria for picking that? Do we know?
All I-
Because I really haven't seen it because we're so like saturated with these lists of things that I'm just like,
all I know is this. It's usually top at the position guys and coaches at the little round table as they're discussing it. I didn't actually watch it because I don't want to hear the
Belichick was
nonsense.
actually pretty heavily involved in this, I think.
He's been in every episode,
Yeah.
and he was part of the committee that picked the
Yeah.
100 team,
Huh.
along with Peter King and a bunch of other
So
writers.
they picked Finns as the best team, didn't they?
So this is the thing.
I don't know.
No, I'm sorry. Didn't
don't
I
know.
hear that? Didn't they pick
The
that?
72
Which-
Dolphins.
Yeah. Wasn't it this?
I believe it. Yeah, they were number one
I'm surprised.
This is
over the 85 Bears
I'm
and the
surprised
84
at that.
Niners.
Wow.
And
This
the
is-
62 Packers.
this is the thing when you get writers and coaches involved in picking a top 100 list or a top 10 wide receiver or whatever it is guys like T.O. that have kind of they don't really have off the field issues because he never was in trouble off the field, right? I mean, it was all on the field, disagreements with coaches, disagreements with players. When you have that attitude, it doesn't really make a difference how good you are. Those coaches want to leave you off the list because they don't like you.
Yeah, the
Well,
inability.
it depends on how they look at how it impacts the team, right? Like, I wouldn't want that guy on my team, or I would want that fire on my
The
team.
inability for the NFL to stay unbiased or transparent is kind of gross. Again, with T.O., with the Hall of Fame stuff for so long, and now this, it's like, dude. Okay, let me just read the list for you guys. At the bottom of the list, I think this is top 10. Elroy Hirsch.
Let's go, Elroy.
Elroy,
Put it on him.
from the Jetsons.
Elroy.
Played from
Is that
47 to
Elroy? Is that
57.
Elroy like E.L. Roy, or is it just L?
ELROY.
All right, just checking.
I'm going to say this right now. Elroy Hirsch couldn't play on the 2012 Clippers in New Bedford. Fact. Okay,
Well,
next.
is he old? How old is he?
No, in his prime, he couldn't play on that team. In his prime, he couldn't play on the team. At number 9, we have Marvin Harrison. Not even going to argue that one. Fine, whatever. Steve Largent at 8. Larry Fitzgerald. Randy Moss.
Wait.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is in
We're-
order.
We're going in order now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. All right.
Bottom to top. Lance Allworth.
He was a bad boy, though.
We knew he was going to be on
Ahead
the
of
list.
Randy Moss.
Lance Allworth was a bad
But we
boy.
knew what he,
not ahead of
listen,
Randy
we
Moss.
knew
He
he
a
was
bad
going to be
boy.
on the list, but his ass belongs at 10 where it belongs. Paul Warfield.
Hey, don't you watch your mouth about Paul Warfield.
Played for the Redskins and the Dolphins.
Yeah.
Paul
Well, I'm going to say this for Paul Warfield.
Warfield.
I'm going to say this for Paul Warfield. At that time, they didn't throw the ball around.
No, that was a run first offense.
Paul Warfield was a stud receiver in a time where they didn't throw the ball around.
No, he played for the Browns.
Don't
and
worry.
Dolphins.
Don't worry. It's the whiteness isn't over yet.
He's not white, Paul Warfield.
Oh, thank God. Don Hudson.
Yes.
So you're on.
He was
all right.
ahead and above shoulders everybody. He had 17 touchdown catches in 1 year.
Don
And
Hudson's
led
third.
the league in receiving
Hey.
7 times.
So
Third.
far they've covered running backs, linebackers, D ends, D tackles, cornerbacks, safeties.
Well, we can go
kickers.
over them all. I don't care if you guys want to. Shit.
Yeah. This
But
this
tight
Friday
end-
this Friday night is the season finale for quarterbacks. 2-hour season
Yeah,
finale.
quarterback and then coach is the last 2 categories they have to cover.
So next up, number 2, Raymond Berry.
Hughes, Johnny Hughes, go-to wide receiver.
And then Jerry Rice. Okay, guys, let's be serious. Let's be serious here. For
No
a second.
T.O., no Chris
Let's-
Carter.
Let's be serious for a second.
Yeah,
here.
crazy.
If listen, this isn't an opinion; it's fact. You cannot be argued. If Terrell Owens played in Raymond Berry's prime of 1955 to 1967, Terrell Owens would have amassed 1 million receiving yards.
Well, that's an
1 million receiving.
They wouldn't.
yards.
They didn't throw the ball around though, so it's not true.
It
They,
does-
they,
but
they're not going to be like, oh, we got this stud, we got to throw it because they had
so
guys
let
that
me
were
say
studs.
Let me say this. Let me
Unitas
say
was
this.
the first quarterback to throw for 40,000.
1955 to 1967.
I know what you're saying, but you're trying
19
to transpose them
No,
from now.
Yeah,
out
you
there.
can't
Fine.
do that because if Terrell Owens played in that generation, he grew up in that generation.
he wouldn't
which
be doing
generally
what-
means he wouldn't have been the size he was, the strength he was, the speed he was.
Oh no, that's
Well,
fine.
you was
I'm
the same
taking.
way.
Okay, we're not working on birth. We're working on time machine. We take you when you were
Yeah, well,
born,
that's
and
not
we
a
place
fact.
and we place you where you were. Okay, T.O.
But that's not a fact.
If T.O. had 66 receptions, which is what this dude had at whatever point, if he had 66 receptions, you know what T.O. would do with 66 receptions in that league? 3,000 yards. 3,000 yards.
Yeah, but this is what I'm saying. Some of the guys like Warfield would be able to do that if they used them more. They just didn't
Yeah.
do that because they had Kick and Mercury Morris and Zong and just run the ball, stuff. All these good linemen. They didn't use those guys.
Listen, we can give respect to these dudes who played, but we got to stop acting like they're anywhere close to as talented as any of the greats that
I mean,
played.
that wouldn't be my list right there.
No, I know.
Arguing that
But
with you.
I'm just saying, as a whole, in these writers, even, we have to stop pretending these dudes can hold the jock straps of any of these guys. Raymond Berry, Paul Warfield, Elroy Hirsch, Lance Allworth, they're not even as good as Odell Beckham Jr.
Oh, that's not true.
It is true. I'm
That's-
sorry.
oh, that's not
It's
true. Is there-
garbage. This is garbage.
Is there actually a number of how they rank those players? Because on this site that I'm looking at, there isn't.
No, they're just randomly put in.
So it's just a top 10?
On that,
No,
on
it's
that
just-
list,
it's just
on
a-
that
it's
list,
just
it's
a top 10.
random. On that
It's
list,
just
random.
it's just a yeah. It's just well, this is 12
Mine's
running
not.
backs.
Mine's not there. Mine's
They
not
got
there.
12 running backs.
Yeah.
So, but there's no order to how they selected them. Like Emmitt Smith in this one shows number 11, but he's clearly not number 11.
No, he's in
Like,
that top golden 4.
Yeah. So I mean, there's running backs in here that I've never
That's
heard of.
yes, that is out of order. This isn't. I know.
I know. I'm just saying these are just randomly placed. That's why I asked you if that
Yeah,
is.
yeah. No, this one's in order. So let me pull up the running back one in order.
But yeah, Michael Irvin should have been on that
Yeah,
list.
yeah.
Okay, even
I
if
could
you want to
see
be, even if
leaving
you want to
Irvin
be,
off.
even if you want to be
I
less,
could.
I could see
Like,
leaving
I'm
Irvin
being-
off, but you
I'm
can't
being-
leave Chris Carter off.
I'm
You
being
can't
less.
leave
I'll be less of a
Terrell
dick
Owens
and
off.
stop shitting on these guys for a second and say none of them belong in the list over again. Michael Irvin, Terrell Owens, Chris Carter. Dude, even Calvin Johnson
Julio.
is on a top 10 list
Yeah, you could
because-
put Julio on that list right now. He's still playing.
because Calvin
Absolutely.
Johnson is the Barry Sanders of
In
wide
9
receivers.
seasons, he's got 16,000 yards.
He's
like-
ridiculous.
How about a guy like Tim Brown? All those
Yeah.
years.
Tim Brown,
Yeah.
another great one.
Tim Brown,
Andre
absolutely.
Reed. Like
Andre
I said,
Reed,
Lynn
good one.
Lynn Swan.
Yeah, there's a lot of options.
It's disgusting. It's gross. This is just old heads doing dumb shit. I remember Gil Brandt 4 or 5 years ago put out a top 25 corners of all time list, and he put Josh Norman and Malcolm Butler on it.
Yeah, I know.
You don't deserve a job. You should have been fired on the spot. You should have your gold jacket removed.
Which is interesting
your
because
entire franchise is a fraud.
he's an old head, so I'm surprised he had like current guys like that in.
Like you're a fraud. You shouldn't even
it's-
get your gold jacket for that list. It's disgusting.
That's probably one of those things where he doesn't know and just goes and Googles it. Oh,
Josh
this
Norman
guy's
good
played
right
one-
now, yeah.
this
Josh
guy's
Norman
good
played
right
one
now.
good season, and then this following season he wrote a top 25 list to put Josh Norman on it.
Yeah, he literally was good one
Malcolm
season.
Butler made one interception in his career, and he made the top 25 list. This is retarded. Okay, so running backs, we'll go from the top. At number 1, Jim
Yeah.
Brown,
Not gonna argue.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, you can't argue.
Can't argue it.
Earl Campbell.
That's number 2.
No. Great running back. but
How
no.
are you? How are you going? You going 1, 2?
I'm at the top right now. Jim Brown's at the top.
Yeah, so I'm thinking that's not in order.
But
It might
why
not
would,
be in
but
order,
if it's
but
not in
wait,
order,
wait,
why
check-
would you start the list with Rice and start the list with Brown?
Is
It's
it-
not in order.
is
That's
it-
what I'm saying. Like,
Go ahead, keep
Is
going.
it alphabetical? The last name?
It might be Brown Campbell.
It could. I mean, that's possibly it. But at the same time, even if it is,
No,
the top 10 list is ridiculously out of whack.
no, it
Yeah,
is. It is. It's alphabetical order.
So
so there is
Brown.
no top 10 list.
So the wide receiver.
But Rice wouldn't be because Rice.
Yeah.
that's not gonna.
R.
Yeah. But so Jim Brown. So this is just a random top 10 then.
Okay.
Jim Brown, Earl Campbell. Fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Eric Dickerson. Okay.
Yep.
Lenny Moore.
He was Roger Craig and Marshall
Yeah,
Falk
yeah.
before any of them.
All right, I got to hear the rest of the
You
list.
know what? I'll
before
put a
I
pin
can-
in that one. Marion Motley.
No.
No idea.
No.
Never even heard of him. Not gonna lie.
Okay. Let's move on. Walter Payton.
Yes.
Barry Sanders.
Yes.
Gail Sayers, who I have my own issues with, but
Yes.
fine. We'll leave him
Yes.
on there.
Short career.
O.J. Simpson.
He had a TD
Yes.
career.
Emmett Smith.
Yes.
Steve Van Buren.
You just don't like Dutch names, let's be honest.
He just
You
doesn't
weren't
like-
a fan of Martin Van Buren either, were you?
He doesn't like the
Van
40s
Buren
and
boys.
he doesn't like
Like-
the 40s and 50s.
Yeah,
guys.
yeah. They
It's
have-
just because
it's
it's just objective fact.
Well,
They
yeah,
weren't-
I mean,
they
they-
were not good athletes.
I mean, they
It's
Why would
fact
you-
that they weren't good.
They weren't. If you watch Gail Sayers
opinion.
play,
If you're
everything
comparing
he does,
him
all
to
of his
now,
runs,
yes,
all of his runs. If you watch him play, listen,
you,
as
you
someone
can
who's-
only kind of compare him to then.
yes, you can only
That's
compare.
only
and
you
that's
can
fine.
do. Like,
and that's fine. But then make a top 10 list of then and keep them out of mine.
I'm willing
That's
to
what I
bet.
say.
I'm willing to bet Steve Van Buren was
a baller.
what Christian McCaffrey is.
I
to
bet he was.
today's. You know what I mean? Like as far as that superior athlete in his generation, it's.
But, like,
it's,
so
it's
He was
let's-
he was run
I
SVB.
I can break this down in a way that makes more sense and it's
I
more
don't think
understandable.
anyone's saying that he is a better running back than
Nah,
anyone else
that's not
on
true.
this, but-
The dudes, the Gil Brandts of the world who write these lists are those guys. They'd be like, dude, if Zonka played today, you kidding? No, if Zonka played today, he get his ass kicked. I'm sorry, I love you so much. He gets smashed in the face.
you should apologize to Zonka, not to
He
me.
gets smashed in the face. Because, and I'll get to Zonka in a second.
I
but
don't know
let's-
about that.
But let me just talk about Sayers
But-
real quick. Gail Sayers, watch any of his clips. Was he clearly the most superior athlete on the field? Hands down.
Yeah.
Do you know what he ran like? He ran like when you played gym football. And you got the kid in this who played soccer but didn't play football. So he'd hold the ball wrong and be up and down. And he would be like this. And he would just by everybody but didn't know how to do anything. He would just weave. No moves, nothing. Gail Sayers ran off balance constantly. He never switched hands with the ball. He never did anything that would look like running back technical skill. He would juke like this, an arm wave and a whole move. He did nothing.
Didn't need to.
He ran the
Duh.
ball like someone,
Worked.
like a guy who was just fast. Who you said, "Hey, this is how you play football. Get in there, run it real quick." These dudes could not. I'm sorry,
No,
but they just, end of the day, they weren't even coached well. Let alone were good. Like
Well,
it's
he had
nonsense.
6 touchdowns in one game against San Francisco.
They ran the ball foolishly. Like The things we see running, what Saquon Barkley does right
Hall
now.
of Famer.
Yeah.
What Saquon Barkley does right now, his ability to stop, change, spin on a person. If any of these dudes even try to
Wait, he's
spin,
got some really shitty numbers for the Hall of Fame.
if these
Gale
dudes
Sayers
try
he
to
didn't play
spin,
that long. He was injured all the
He
time.
got hurt.
Dude's got less than 5,000 yards.
Yeah, but again, it's the time frame. It's how he was used. How he got hurt a lot. Things like that.
so, but that's what I'm saying. Like,
But did I not hear LaDainian Tomlinson, Marshall Falk? Did I not
Yeah,
hear
no,
those guys?
no,
All right.
no, LT and
Neither
Marshall
of them-
Falk's not on here.
No, Marshall Falk.
I mean, Tomlinson was the one I was thinking of.
How does Tomlinson hold the touchdown record for a running back and not make the list of top 100
Yeah.
running back? I mean, it's crazy.
And this
I
is
mean-
and what's worse about it is you guys are telling me, because I paid very minimal attention to this stuff, is that this is a committee. It's not even like, okay, one guy's list, all right.
It's a committee,
But it's a committee coming up with this list.
dude, it's gross.
Another guy
It's-
that could have been Curtis Martin.
Yep.
14,000
Yeah.
yards.
I feel like there has to be some sort of prerequisite. Like you have to have a guy from each generation on this list, and maybe
Yeah.
that's why these guys aren't getting. Because
I think you do have to, though.
But every
because you
generation,
can't minimize
But here's the
anybody.
thing: every generation's one thing. But you got 4 dudes who played in the 50s here. Okay, why is there's just put one? There's no, need
not
for
really. You got the 30s, the 40s.
Jim Brown.
There's only 2 that played the
60s.
same. There's only
Okay.
2 that played the same.
There should not be 2. There should
there
not be
shouldn't
2.
be.
Hey, listen, let's just take O.J. Simpson
But, like-
off the damn list
but
and put
you're-
somebody else.
OJ was a dog.
But if you're
Get
thinking,
him out of here.
if you're thinking
1 or
about
2,000 yards.
like guys like LT and Terrell Davis, those guys, they all played in the same time frame as Emmitt Smith
Dude, Adrian,
and Barry Sanders.
dude, we're talking
and-
top 12. There's 12 there. Adrian Peterson.
Certainly arguable.
But again, he
go there.
played in the same time frame as some of these other backs.
Peterson,
so it's-
LT, Marshall Falk.
Marshall Falk 100% should be on anyone's top 10 list. Like, that's crazy. It's just like like I said, take away athleticism. Like, okay, even if you're not the most athletic guy, if you still showed, listen, he does all the same things, but he's a few seconds slower. But when you go back and watch the film, these dudes weren't even technically sound. Like I said, they played as if they were taught football a second before the game started. Zonka, who's a Hall of Famer and an all-time great, you watch him play, and he played 100% wrong, especially for his position. He's a power back. He hit everybody with his chest. He had the ball up here
elbows.
and would just do this to people. If he did that today, the smallest player would rock his shit in the
Yeah, but
in
you're
the
saying
chin.
like Walter Payton, he carried the ball like a loaf of bread.
He
Yeah, he
did.
did.
Like
He did.
all the time.
No.
He should have
And,
so
fumbled.
he did.
and we had him number 1. You guys had him maybe 2 or something like that. But I had him 1.
You're right. Now Walter Payton's a little different because he's kind of like Dickerson. These guys.
And Dickinson ran straight up like
Yeah,
an
he did.
ostrich.
Yeah,
I
you're
mean,
right.
you can see this, but all these
No,
guys.
you're
And
right.
I had him
So
top
here's
5.
what's different about those 2 guys, though. Those 2 guys, when you saw them run, you saw the technical soundness to what they were doing, and you saw that just the larger than lifeness to their quirks, like holding the ball out. Because LaShawn McCoy does it too. LaShawn McCoy runs the ball
Yeah.
like this,
Yeah, he
like
does.
Michael Vick.
Yeah, he does.
You see, like Zonka, and again, I want to stay on him for a second. Like, he's a power back who did not use any of his leverage to run people over. He was really just a normal, really tough guy. Like, he's probably the guy who'll kick anyone's ass in a bar fight. He was the dude who was, when I played backyard football growing up, was Jared knows the kind of people I'm talking about because he would there. But they'd show up in boots, like Timberlands and jeans. But they weighed 250 and we were all 16 and they were in Carhartt sweaters and they just kicked the shit out of us. Like, that's how you ran. Like, it's just like, it's, come on. Like,
no, that's
what
my
are we
boy
doing?
Chuck Bedard.
What are we doing out here?
Oh, I
The
remember you.
linebacker group.
I remember you went with him.
He was a.
So wait a minute,
He
I just-
installed like train tracks on his time off.
So this list is kind of invalidated by the fact that Lamar Jackson's not on it.
All time? Wait, all time?
Right, running. You-
I would have put Lamar Jackson on there before Van Buren.
My thing is, I don't hate
SVB,
I don't
baby.
hate these guys. I have so much love for guys like Zonka. Like, I think it's awesome that they played back then, and I think it's awesome that they pioneered. But we gotta stop.
well, Zonka's not on the list.
No, he's not. But you know what? He deserves to be on it more than Marion Motley.
Yep.
Fact.
Zonk,
If
Zonk.
Marion Motley's on that
Zonk.
list, Zonk absolutely should be on that list.
For those of you listening, we are going to get into playoff talk in a little bit. We're just going to breeze over this top 100
This is
list
crazy, dude.
briefly
Breeze
because
over
it's been going on in the last few weeks since we've been on.
I'd like to hear some more of the lists.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
absolutely.
I think they got the linebacker list 100%. I think they got it. I
The,
think they nailed it.
the
Go
linebacker
for
list's
it.
all right. I mean,
I can't think of anyone they left off.
Go ahead. Go
Derek
for it.
Thomas.
Derek Thomas.
True.
They left Thomas off?
Yeah.
They did.
Oh.
Yeah. But I mean,
So let
there's some-
Jared go
yeah,
top to
through it.
bottom.
Yeah,
Go
So
for it.
linebackers they got my boy Chucky.
Chuck Bednarik.
Yep. Bobby Bell, Derek Brooks, Dick Butkus, Jack Ham, Ted Hendricks, Jack Lambert, Willie Lanier, Ray Lewis, Joe Schmidt, Junior Seau, Lawrence Taylor.
They also left off Ray Nitschke.
Yeah. So I mean, this list also has a lot of holes in it. It seems like guys are picking their favorite players. That's what it seems like.
Urlacher.
I never thought Urlacher was that
Zach?
impressive.
You don't have to think it. Just look at the numbers. I went over this when we went over linebackers.
Yeah, he was a
I know.
turnover maker.
He played safety at middle linebacker,
I don't know.
and he crushed people.
He forced a lot of turnovers.
He did, but he was never that impressive to me watching him play.
Oh, I mean, I'm sure you're not that impressive to him.
He's so unimpressive he doesn't know you.
His opinion doesn't matter.
It does have no rock. Who's the guy? I'm drawing a blank. 49ers and Saints. I had him on the list and I cannot think. of his name.
49ers and Saints?
Mostly Saints.
Shit.
Really good
Saints.
linebacker.
Oh,
Not Pat Swilling.
No,
you're not thinking of the guy that? No, that's a safety.
driving me nuts.
For a linebacker?
The safety that got.
It's
Darren
not the
Sharper.
little guy, is it? The little guy only
This
played
is
for
the guy from the 80s, maybe
Sam?
into
Let's
the
see,
90s.
it's Sam Mills, but
It's
he's
not
Mills.
Sam
But he
Mills.
went on to
It's
Because he was the
Carolina.
Panthers.
I was gonna say
This guy
Sharper,
won it.
but Sharper was a safety.
No, this guy was part of the 49ers team that won a Super Bowl, but he was mainly a Saint. He kind of was just on the team at the end with the Niners. I had him on my list. Top.
Oh,
number five.
I got one. They
In
left
what
off.
years? In the 90s?
Yeah, 80s into the 90s.
I mean, he was on
He
the
played
90
a long time and he had good numbers.
He was
yeah.
on the 94 team.
He was on the
for-
Niners that won, yeah, but he was really known for being on the Saints.
Not Ken Norton. You sure?
No, it's not Ken Norton.
Yeah.
No. This guy was a big boy.
I don't know.
But also, it's a top 12 list, and you leave off most rings of all time, Charles Haley.
I'm gonna pull
Yeah, he was DN
Yeah,
linebacker
he was
hybrid.
more as an end.
Do you think?
DN hybrid linebacker.
Well, it depended on the defense he played in, because for different teams he stood up. and
But he
other
was-
teams
he
went
was a-
down.
he was
so it's
a-
3-4 outside or DN.
He was a DN down lineman a lot more though, most of the time on the Cowboys especially. But I mean, this list is good. Linebacker list is solid.
Yeah, but there's at least 3 dudes on that you've never even heard of,
They nailed
and
it.
you know it. You don't know who the hell Joe Schmidt is. You don't know who the hell Ted Hendricks is, and you damn sure don't know who Willie Lanier is.
Schmidt is the only one I don't know on this list.
Linebacker is one of those positions where hard-nosed guys look like they fit, so that's why you're looking at it and going, "Yeah, it looks all right."
No, I'm saying I'm talking about the guys that I know. All the other guys that we talked about. Bednarik,
Dude, is that
Lambert,
Mark Sanchez?
Brooks, Butkus, Ham, Seau, Taylor, Lewis.
I'm surprised they had 2 Steelers from the same era.
What is this?
In
What
the
are we looking
same.
at?
Yeah,
Same
well,
guys.
I mean, those two were
Oh,
definitely
Gil Brandt's
all-time
top
greats.
line.
Though,
They were.
and that defense especially. But yeah, it is kind of
I think that's Sam Mills. Yeah, I knew that was
almost
Sam Mills. Might be
the
him.
exact same
Pat
years,
Swilling.
too.
Yeah.
He's better than both of those guys. All right.
Let's go into the.
Oh, Zach Thomas isn't up there. He's got 1,800 career tackles.
yeah, but Zach Thomas also
Don't care.
got snubbed for Hall of Fame too.
Don't
so,
care.
I mean,
He should be up there.
I feel like you have to be in the Hall of Fame to make this list.
London Fletcher. I mean, that's
I mean, you really should be in the
I
Hall.
like London, but
Makes a lot of tackles.
DNs. The DN list is
that's disgusting.
the
Should not
DN
be
list
up
is
there.
small, huh?
It is. And outside of Deacon Jones, Marquetti, Bruce Smith, and Reggie White, some head scratchers. Like no
Yeah.
J.J. Watt.
Yeah.
We got
He
a
just
long way
can't
to go,
stay
actually.
healty. I think that's his biggest problem.
He's the defensive Gronk.
Ricky
Yeah.
Jackson. Oh, he was on my list.
Ricky Jackson.
Ricky
is the guy.
Jackson was on my
Belongs
list.
in
Ricky
there. That's the
Jackson's an
guy.
animal, dude.
Yes,
Animal.
absolutely. How is he not on that list?
Ricky Jackson was an animal, dude. Fact. I remember. He was on
Okay.
my list.
We're good now.
Good call on
All
that. Oh my God, this list
That
sucked.
that Saints defense up front in the 80s, late 80s.
Oh my God,
Yeah, the
dude.
DN list
Yeah,
is
well, there's 3 of them
Hold
in
on.
that top 45.
There
Aside-
are
Just look at that.
on the
3 of them.
DN's
3
list. There's
backers.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 guys. 3 of them are in black and white. I gotta get water.
I need to hydrate for this list.
Bruce Smith, Deacon Jones, Reggie White. Those
Those are automatic.
Those are automatic.
Not even-
Yeah. The rest of these.
What were the rest of them? I
don't
wasn't
know.
listening.
Doug Atkins, Bill Hewitt, Gino Marquetti. Marquetti, I can see he was the front force of those Colts teams back in the 50s and 60s, winning those championships.
Leroy
3
Selman.
championships.
Tampa Bay.
Yep.
Leroy
Yeah.
Selman, yes. Or at least arguably yes, anyway.
He made a good point. J.J. Watt, two-time Defensive Player of the Year.
J.J.
Back-to-back
Watt is an
season?
all-time
2 or
great
3,
defensive
yeah.
lineman. 100%. We said this when we talked DNs. But here's one thing, though. Players currently
haven't
playing
seen a
weren't on the
current-
list.
yeah, we
They
haven't
that's
seen a current
to
player.
their credit, I'll give them that. To their
Yeah.
credit, there have been no current players, it's just fine.
So are they going to redo this like every couple of years? This list or what?
But yeah, Charles Haley should have been on there.
Yeah.
Defensive end.
Defensive tackle.
D tackle looks all right. So the first guy, I don't know who the hell that is, but we got Junius Buck Buchanan, Joe Green, Bob Lilly, Merlin Olsen, Alan Page, John Randall, and this is Randy White, I believe.
Yeah,
Oh, it's not on
definitely.
that screen.
It is
Randy White.
Definitely.
No Warren Sapp.
No horns. But these two lists might not be done though.
And another,
I don't know if they've announced it.
Yeah,
another
no
guy-
current guys. Donald.
Also from defensive end that I thought that was probably going to be on the list too. Alan Page's teammate, Jim Marshall.
Yeah, you could put Donald on this list today.
Already, yeah.
But again, there are a lot of blank spots here. They may possibly be doing these linemen right now. So there could be guys that we haven't seen, but there aren't current players. I know.
I don't think so.
No, it's
'cause
final.
The end is they're all
It's
the
the
way
final
down here.
list.
Yeah, these are done.
This Friday
Is
night
it?
is the
That's gross,
finale
then.
quarterback.
There's only
gross,
7.
man.
Only 7 they picked.
Oh, go to tight ends. That's one I really want to talk about. I'm going to throw my
This is
computer
good
through
because
the
we
wall.
did these lists on our own, so we
Yeah.
then we've gone through these names.
Yeah.
Cornerback.
You want me
is-
to? You want the computer to go over here for a little bit while we read these names?
He's
so you
a
don't
pretty-
throw it anywhere.
Oh yeah.
No, I don't want to look at
These
it.
lists in general are kind of bad overall.
So-
no Champ Bailey on the cornerback list.
Cornerback list.
Are we doing corner?
Corner right now.
or
corner.
Charles Woodson.
All right, go ahead. Read them to me.
Mel Blunt, Willie Brown, Daryl Green,
Fine with all those.
Mike Haynes, Night Train Lane,
Yeah.
Deion Sanders,
He had 14 picks.
and Rod Woodson.
I don't think that's a bad list.
I'm fine.
I don't think I'd have that
Yeah,
list,
yeah,
but I
yeah.
don't think it's a terrible.
But the greatest all-around DB ever is off the list.
I'm fine with
Charles Woodson.
I'm fine with that list, but why not more guys?
Yeah,
Yeah.
There's only 7 guys.
25, top 25.
There's only 7 guys there. Like you could have
Yeah,
added guys. in
Champ,
there.
Charles Woodson, Ty Law.
I don't have any.
Yeah, why
Listen,
not?
again, no ill will to these guys, but Night Train Lane, Willie Brown, and Mel Blunt should not be over there over Woodson. Not shouldn't be on. They shouldn't be on over Woodson.
Fair enough.
No one Woodson.
Fair enough.
Woodson was a shutdown corner who went to safety and was an All-Pro at safety. He was amazing at every aspect of football as a corner, and he got turnovers.
He
like
was a
bastard.
Woodson 2.0.
Yeah.
One of the only defensive player to get a Heisman.
No.
I don't think so
No.
ever. No,
One
he
of-
might have been the
not ever.
last. He might have been the last.
Definitely
one.
the last one.
Maybe the last one.
And he got
Back in
defensive.
97.
He was defensive MVP in the NFL. Dude, that's,
Yeah,
oh my
that's
God.
bad. That's a bad omission.
Charles Woodson got left off the safety list too.
Yep.
What's the
Safeties-
safety? We
Could
have
have been
that
on
list?
either one.
Do we have the safety?
Jack Christensen.
Yep.
Oh, that dude could not cover anybody
How do you know? Was he from 1936?
because he's got a fucking flat top.
What is
And
that?
he's a white guy with a
He's-
flat top, so he was definitely like it's black and white days.
He was a security guy at the grocery
Yeah,
store.
but who did he
That's
have
how-
to cover?
Yeah,
In the
right?
offseason.
Ken Houston, Ronnie Lott, Ed Reed, Emlyn Tunnel, Larry Wilson.
This is another list that could have been bigger
Did Gil Brandt make
Or-
this list?
or better with this smaller.
I'm having a hard time of thinking who's left off here, but I know there's people left off.
Brian
Brian
Dawkins,
Dawkins.
John
Yes,
Lynch,
Yes.
John Lynch.
Wow. Jesus. Yeah. We had all those guys
Dude,
on our list.
Troy Polamalu was essentially he was the Randall. What was Randall Cunningham's nickname for how unable to go to tackle he was?
I forget.
Plastic, rubber, something like that.
Gumby.
Paul Krause is another guy. He has 81 interceptions.
But it was
not on this
something. It was
list.
something plastic or something rubber. I don't know. But that was who Polamalu was. Polamalu was like, whatever goofy ass position I'm falling in, I can make the tackle or I can catch the ball. Whatever I'm falling on my head, I'll catch the ball behind my back somehow. Like he was wild. And even if you don't put him on the list, fine. But he was wild.
They got 2 kickers.
Who? Morton Anderson and
No,
who?
Morton Anderson's not even on
No.
Vinatieri.
Vinatieri and who?
Vinatieri and Jan Stanero?
Stenrud. I don't know.
How about
why they-
Blanda? He's not George Blanda.
None. Blanda's not on the list.
Jesus.
Dude.
All right, fine. I'm convinced it's a bad
Morton
list.
Anderson, the all-time leading NFL scorer.
So what was the tight ends? Because obviously, you
Dude,
already
How do you
have a
not put
connection.
Grammatica on there for breaking his leg?
Hey, how hilarious is this? Hey, the
Tearing
punters
his
have a
ACL.
legacy, guys. The Raiders have a legacy, and it's punters. Ray Guy, Shane Leckler.
Let's go.
Killing it.
Wait, I thought Leckler's still playing. No, he's retired.
No, he's
Yeah.
been gone a while.
Kick
Returners, Billy White Shoes Johnson,
Yes.
Devin Hester. Don't agree with Billy
Can't
White
How about
Shoes.
Dante?
I
How
can't
about Dante?
argue with him.
How about Dante Hall?
I
What
think
about,
Hall over White Shoes. I'm sorry. I love you, but
What about
Me?
Desmond Howard? What about Desmond Howard?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
No,
I mean,
Desmond
he
Howard
was the
wasn't like an
biggest one,
amazing
but-
all-time
yeah.
great returner.
He
He had a few big ones.
He had a 2-3 year stretch That was it.
But Hall.
So did Devin Hester.
But you have to. But look
Yeah,
at,
but he had a lot of them when he went. He made
look at
8 or 9 in
look
1
at-
year.
Look at the what was it? The safety for the Eagles or the running back, the light skinned bald dude, who was
Brian
Mitchell. Brian Mitchell. He's all purpose yard leader.
Billy White Shoes Johnson looks like a wax figure. I don't know.
He had the little dance, right? The little. He had the leg dance.
Yeah,
He was like
yeah,
Billy
yeah.
White Shoes Johnson.
But Brian Mitchell isn't like that's wild. Okay, so tight ends: Mike Ditka,
Let's go, Ditka.
Tony Gonzalez,
Yes.
Rob Gronkowski,
Yes.
Yes.
Wait, how does Antonio
John
Gates-
Mackey, and Kellen Winslow.
I'm fine with Winslow.
I'm fine with
Gonzalez-
Winslow too.
Gonzalez and Gronk.
But listen to me.
I'm fine with all the names. I just where are other guys?
But you
The
only
omissions.
chose. But you
Shannon
only
Sharp.
chose
Shannon
5.
Sharp. Where are the
if
omissions?
you're only choosing 5, you have to you have to take Ditka off and Mackey off. I'm sorry. If you're only choosing 5, if you're choosing 7, leave him on. But you're choosing 5.
They're doing it like historic because Mackey's like isn't the tight end position.
They-
like
they-
Mackey revolutionized. He made the tight
They
end.
were
They're
both.
doing
They were
things
both
like that.
ahead of their time.
That's
Ditka
what
and
they're
Mackey
doing.
were.
That's what they're doing. You can see it.
They were
You
ahead
can
of their
see the
time.
theme in
Just
these
like
lists.
in the 70s when Jerry Smith, tight end for the Redskins, he led all tight ends in all the
He
statistical
just,
categories.
he just doesn't like the single bar face mask. That's what it is.
Well, dude, listen to me. Whether
He doesn't like old white guys.
Whether you like him or not, you can't leave my boy off this list. Jason Witten is one of 3 with 11,000
Wait,
yards.
that is an old white guy.
Yeah. Gonzalez, Sharp, and Witten are the only 3 tight ends in history with 11,000 yards. Period. You can't hold them off a goddamn
Gates
list.
has to be on that list.
Yeah, Gates.
He's got to be up there, or he's close.
touchdown monster.
For yards?
Yeah.
Touchdowns, he's up there. Yards, I don't think he
But he's
hasn't
got
hit
to be on the
11,000
list.
yet.
He's got to be on that list.
Yes,
Gates.
you're right. Yes, you're right. It's gross, dude. It's gross. Only the 3 tight ends with 11,000 yards in history, 2 of them aren't on the list. That's what? Let's go to O-line. O-line? Oh, my God, dude. One of the O-line.
Did they break it down by position or
Dude,
just O line?
There's an O-lineman from 1927.
Who is it?
Cal
He looks
Hubbard
like he looks 50 years old. He looks like he played at 50 years old.
in 1927.
Gates has 11,841 yards.
He broke 11? Is it 12 or 11? The stat is either 12,000 or 11,000, but there's only
Well,
3.
he's close to the
But
12.
Gates could have just broken in recently, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
These lists suck.
These lists are bad.
Dude,
They are kind of bad.
Roosevelt Brown, Forrest Gregg, Cal Hubbard is the guy who played football in 1927 at
And
50 years
already
old.
was 50, yeah. He fought in the Civil War.
Walter Jones. Come look at his picture. Please, Mike. For Christ's sake, come look at his picture. Dude,
I'll
holy
put it
shit.
up there. You guys don't have to move. I can put it up there.
Look at him. He looks like my grandfather.
You're kind, Sandy. Looks 50.
Walter Jones, Anthony
guys,
Munoz.
we got this
Anthony
cool-
Munoz, fine.
we got this
Jonathan,
cool
Jonathan
technology.
Ogden, fine. But dude, John Hanna. I'm Pat shout out real quick.
We got this cool technology, guys. I can project the.
Yeah.
Good,
Hey,
yeah.
how about I stop repeating it and scroll down so I can read this guy's name? Art Shell.
Yes,
Okay,
yes,
fine.
yes.
Yeah.
But dude, John Hanna.
John Hanna was a guard.
I think that's. Oh, it's tackle. I thought I said OL. I'm sorry. I thought I said OL. So it's just tackles. Just tackles. Fine. All well and good. Let's go to guards.
They don't have guys.
Well, they left off
Guards right
Orlando
there.
Pace.
right there.
Okay, so there's Hanna. So we got Larry Allen. Yes.
Yes.
Dan Fortman. Okay. John Hanna. Yes. Bruce Matthews.
Yes.
Randall McDaniel.
Yeah.
Great name. Jim Parker. And we have
Gene
list.
Upshaw.
Yes.
Gene Upshaw.
It's a good list.
Good list.
Dude, there's got to be some guards on there that are just
But they'll be arguable. I don't mind it if it's arguable. If it's like, come on.
centers. Centers. Nobody is alive. They're all dead. Mel Hine.
Stevenson's alive.
Mel Hine. Yeah, you're right. Jim Otto, Dwight Stevenson, Mike Webster.
Stevenson was great.
So hold on, wait a minute. Go back real quick.
They
Go
hit
to,
the
go to,
wide
go to
receiver.
centers real quick. So Mel Hine, who I can clearly see weighed 227 pounds.
That was big back then.
Yeah, it was.
But that dude,
It's
that's
on a
exact,
list
that'd
with
be like
these
a
guys.
400-pounder now.
But yo, he could have had the best technique in the world, and he still couldn't block the worst defensive
He
lineman.
looks, he looks like
I know,
a
but he
brick
was a
shit
Jew.
house, dude.
He was a Jewish center. Come on, give him some love.
Keep going. Wide receiver we seen in quarterback. hasn't
How do you
been.
know the nose?
The name Hine. I didn't even look at him. His picture.
He went historical. You went racist. How the hell did that happen?
His nose.
Mike's like Hine. I understand Hine is a Jewish name.
I
Oh, it's just-
assume.
hey, is it those stupid fucking curls in his nose he's got?
He's got a big
Holy
Roth,
shit.
Hyman.
He's got a big nariche, dude. Look at that thing.
Narish. Schnoz. Look at that guy Schnoz.
Hey, buddy.
He was they couldn't get to the quarterback past that nose.
It's like a third. It's like a third blocking hand.
In keeping with the racist aesthetic, you go full Portuguese, which is all right. Yeah. And
Where
coaches were there. Quarterbacks,
center.
I don't know.
Well,
But
the coaches
were
list
there.
is not fully done, but
No.
they have names on there.
Let's see
That
what we
if you
got for
go to the
coaches.
coaches, they'll have
See,
their
Paul
names.
Warfield, not white. Just saying.
Okay, Paul Warfield.
That's what you said.
Paul Warfield can stay. No, but Lance Allworth, Raymond Perry, Elroy Hirsch, and Don Hudson. And Steve Largent, hold on. There are more white guys than black dudes on the receiver all-time list.
So what?
You can say whatever you want, but that's wrong. That's like having a. That's like
What do you mean? No
That's 5 and
Welker, no
5.
Edelman. There's no
5 and 5.
no.
5 and 5.
You don't
I
have
love
Brandon
those guys,
Stokely
but they're not on
there.
that
Come
list.
on.
But they're not on that list.
Brandon no Stokely.
Okay, I got something that'll completely make you
Joe
understand.
Jurevicius.
You can't.
Yeah.
You
All
can't
these
make.
guys got left off.
You cannot make a top 10 all-time QBs list with
Wayne
all black
Corbett.
quarterbacks.
Oh,
Wayne Corbett was really.
You can't. You
Wayne
just
Corbett.
can't do it. Wayne Corbett was a dog, and I loved him. I loved Wayne Corbett. But he shouldn't be on the list.
Yeah, so
Shouldn't
that will
on
be
the list.
announced on Friday night, and then
Dude, that's like
Coaches?
having an all-white cornerbacks list. It doesn't make any goddamn sense. The fact of the matter is,
Parcells
historically,
belongs on here.
African Americans excel at these
Parcells
positions.
should be.
Parcells belongs on here.
he
Yeah,
does.
absolutely.
Head coach.
Everywhere he
Bill
went,
Parcells.
Every
He turned
coach-
every franchise around.
within 2 years.
Yep.
At least I know every name up here. Jesus Christ, that's something. We're getting somewhere. You know
All-
who else should be up here?
All whites though.
Parcells and Joe Gibbs, I'd say, are like equals. They could have.
Gibbs was good.
But you
Gibbs
could
was
have
good.
replaced Parcells with Gibbs, and no one would have been upset.
No,
I think it's whack that
Gibbs was
Belichick's
good,
on the
but I-
list, and here's why. He is the best.
He belongs.
But why is it you left all currents off everywhere except for coaches?
Because there's not a lot of coaches. I mean,
Of course there are. You could have replaced Bill with Bill Parcells.
Wait,
And then-
wait, what?
he's the only current.
I think he's just talking about current.
I
not
don't
better,
understand
but-
why he's on here because this the only place is where they put a current person is the coaching. They should have stayed with the trend of no current people
No
on the
current?
list. That's
Okay.
what I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
Bill's
Yeah.
the greatest coach of all time.
I get it. I get what you're saying.
But they should have stayed with the trend. I don't really like that. It's weird. That doesn't make sense. It just throws the whole list off. Because nowhere else has a top guy. I mean, if we're being honest, quarterback should. Is Tom Brady going to be on the quarterbacks? Then it's going to be weird.
They'll have him there.
He probably will be, and that's dumb because the rest of, and not because he's not, but because the other 40 dudes on these lists, no current players. Doesn't make sense. It's stupid.
yeah.
Oh god, the NFL needs to chill with these stupid time slot fillers that they keep making. Ugh, gross.
I kind of agree there because that's what I'm saying. I haven't paid a. It's just frustrating to listen
Dude,
to.
when we were
these
in the hotel in
Dallas.
Texas and we were watching the what was it best plays
of the.
we were like boo,
That's
boo.
let's go back to week. Was it
16.
14?
Oh,
Who'd the Patriots
machine again.
play? Who'd the Patriots play last week?
Cincinnati. Week before that was Kansas City.
Yes, let's go back to week 14. Kansas City game. Playoff implications there.
Seeding implications. I'd say.
Seeding, yes. And it's one of the most poorly officiated games of the season.
We'll start off with saying, without a doubt, you're right. Against the Pats too. Yes.
Oh, by far.
But there's going to be a butt coming, and it is what it is.
So, for those of you that we weren't on the air at this time, so I just want to take a few minutes to talk about it because it was kind of a big deal and it was kind of a huge topic of discussion 2 weeks ago. So I just want to make sure that people that listen to this show get an opportunity to hear our opinions on it. But the Patriots throw a pass to N'Keal Harry. He is on the sideline. The ref calls him out of bounds around the 3-yard line. Patriots are out of challenges, can't challenge the play. Turns out it was clearly inbounds, should have been a touchdown. Takes 7 points off the board. They get, takes 4 points off the board because they end up getting a field goal. They get held at the 3. Awful missed call. Patriots are in a bad position. They don't have challenges to challenge the play because Belichick had to use
I think
one
he challenged
challenge.
a spot call.
Yeah, it was a spot.
Which was a terrible call too, by the way.
That was a bad call. And then that same play, too, Travis Kelce should have been called for pass interference as he backed his ass up to Stephon Gilmore like he was, auditioning for the Juvenile video.
Jesus.
But
the thing that so Belichick uses in the first half a challenge on a spot call, and we know that challenges on spot calls you have to be 100% certain,
yeah,
because if you're not 100% certain, it's he said, she said thing.
But
You're going to lose.
I
it.
think you have to challenge it when it's a key thing. Like yesterday, I wanted the Bills to challenge the Michelle's knee down,
And they should have,
at the
because he
26.
was short.
He was at the 26
Yes.
and a half.
He was-
and
he-
he needed to get to the 26. It
But
seemed like,
by
but I
way-
don't know if they would have changed it.
By
I think
way
you
of
just
length
gotta
of his
do it.
body, he was
Take a
not short.
chance.
But,
You-
by
fourth
way
and
of
one,
position
you
of his
got-
body, he was.
But
You kinda
that was
have
in the
to.
first half, though.
No,
The first half.
yesterday?
Of the game. No, the Patriots Chiefs thing.
Oh, Patriots, Chiefs,
Yes.
yeah. But I'm talking about yesterday was kind of later in the game.
I
Yeah, it
agreed
was.
they should have
In the-
challenged it
in the-
He
because
was short.
In the first half of a football game, you do not want to use a challenge on a spot call that you're not certain of.
And here's what me and Jared said yesterday about him McDermott holding on to his flag. Because even though it's clear to everyone on the
It's a
planet that
half
his
yard,
body
about a
is
half
not at where it needs to be,
yeah, you can't see the football.
they're going to say, we can't see the football, so can't overturn it. And that's the dumbest shit I've ever
But
heard.
where
but-
do you think the football is? I know,
It's in his
that's
left hand.
interpretation, but where do you think it is?
Exactly. But
Out
McDermott,
ahead?
to his credit, probably realized that and was like, shit. Put it
I
back.
think he did, yeah.
The football is exactly where it was when he landed, in his left hand. So if his
By
left,
length of body, he had a first down. By position of body, he did not.
if his left arm is tucked into his body,
That's
then
where the ball
it's
is. I
where
mean, it
his
can't be a
shoulder
half
is.
a yard ahead because it'd be loose.
He was
Yeah.
the line was here. When his knees hit, he was like this. When he laid down, he was on my
Yeah,
computer.
but as soon as his knee hit, he was down.
Exactly. Yes.
But again, I mean, smart decision. I mean, do you want him to challenge it? Yes, but smart decision not to, because you don't know what down the road you're going to need to challenge
This-
it, and that's where Belichick runs
Our
into
frustration with the
issue.
officials is there's no consistency. So a couple of weeks ago, the Dolphins played the Jets in New York. Dolphins are up by 2. Less than a minute to go. Jets are around midfield. Jets have a 3rd and 17. They throw a pass. It's incomplete. It's now going to be 4th and 17. You're probably going to win that game at that point. They go and review it. It's a ticky-tack type of play. You're like, okay, they're not going to change it because all year they haven't been changing things, even that seem egregious. They go and change this and give them a first down.
Yeah.
And now they're in field goal range. They can run a couple of small plays and kick a field goal. So there's no. The problem is there's no.
Live right now.
Our problem is there's no consistency with what they do.
Right, and then it should be all potential scoring plays and actual scoring plays should be reviewed.
Now they
Same-
call Harry. They'll say that's not a scoring play, right? Because we call them down. We call them down at the 3. But I see what you're saying. Let it play out, and
yeah, just
you
like
have a call.
just
but,
like the loose ball fumble with
Yep.
the quick whistle.
Yep.
yeah, same game.
Let it play out because you Goldie McGoldies tend to fuck up.
Yeah.
Yeah, call it a touchdown. Call it a touchdown. Then if you're unsure, call it a touchdown.
Because
right?
it's complete common sense here. It's not even difficult. It's just common sense at its core. You can only overturn one call. The other you cannot. So why not just call the one you can overturn?
Yeah.
If you don't call it a touchdown, you can't then make it one. So don't be an asshole. It's
It does change things because then they have to overturn the call, right? So there's supposed to be more evidence that it's clear that it's not that thing.
Yeah.
But I agree with you. Let the play happen.
I mean, we've been talking about
We-
this a
all
lot
of
since last year, especially since the NFC Championship game last year between the Saints and the Rams. They need to have some sort of sky judge,
like the AFF had.
like you were saying.
It was awesome. I
Yeah,
love
we
that
talked
guy.
about
Whether
this.
it's in there at the stadium or in New York, and just buzz the refs. Okay, you messed up. We really need to take a look at this.
The thing I mean, there's a plan in place for challenging plays and correcting bad calls, right? They give you challenges for that reason. I think you can say that this is a horrible call, right? Everyone can
horrible
agree
call.
that. Anyone, no matter how you feel about the Patriots, can say that was a
I'll
bad
go
call.
as far. I'll go, and again, because there is a butt coming later, but I'll go as far as to say this game looked so much like it was rigged, more than one I've seen in recent history. That's how bad the calls were. They were so bad it looked like
I mean,
it was like the longest yard.
I mean, this calls bad left and right.
Yeah.
I mean, against the Cowboys with the 2 phantom tripping calls,
Yeah.
that was off.
At-
Trey Flowers, Monday Night Football against the Packers, the
Terrible.
2 hands to the face calls, which you clearly see his hand on the shoulder pad.
Yeah, and at the same time, as bad as those calls were, you burned an important challenge on a
Yes.
spot call. So
Bad call too, though. Jeez.
Bill had an opportunity to correct a bad call, and he chose a spot call in the first half, and it cost him 4 points.
So
ultimately.
that's weird for me because Bill's usually not a. He'll usually let that he's a guy that's like that means nothing to me. This game's so much longer than that first half
Yeah.
spot call.
Yeah.
So it was weird to me that he even challenged it. Because stuff like that doesn't keep him up at night at all. Teams that play the Pats do, because you can lose to the Pats by 1 inch at some point in the game. But the Pats don't lose that way. So for him to even do that, I don't understand. And although I believe you need to get the calls right, period, this is one of those times where it's like, you're Bill Belichick. So, like, it's almost like you're the adult, the rest of the NFL coaches are the kids because you're that much ahead of them. Like, you should have known why you challenged in that spot. Like, that's weird.
Right. Yeah. And I also think, I've said it for years, because your officials are so inept,
Mm-hmm.
you should not be forced to lose a timeout if you lose a challenge because your referees suck.
Yeah. If there was some way to what's the word?
Now, if you use two challenges, you use two challenges. If you win both challenges, you gain an extra one. But it shouldn't affect your timeouts.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I think
that's fair across the board. Yeah.
I think what all that would do though is cause the flag to come out a shit ton.
No, because you still only get 2.
Yeah,
I know you still only get 2, but there's no penalty for using it.
Yeah, but you still
you don't
the
get
penalty is you're not going to have it when you need it. That's the penalty.
and you're not, unless you win both challenges, you get a third one for free.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, if you lose the challenge, you don't lose what you're looking for on that play.
Mm-hmm.
You should get as many challenges as you can be right on or close to right on, because if I challenge a call and I burn my challenges and I'm right all the time, that's a terrible call. What am I going to do?
So the word escapes me that I'm trying to find here, but if there was a way to make this work, I agree with you both, because you shouldn't be limited on how many times you can call someone doing their job wrong. Because if you make 12 bad calls in the game, I'm only allowed to challenge 2 of them.
Right, I have to decide. Maybe I'll wait till the next bad call is coming later.
Right. So I'm going to be penalized during my 2-minute drill in the fourth quarter because you messed up in the second quarter.
Yeah. If there was some way to make that work without it,
I think the only way to make it work is to allow the team to continue to challenge plays no matter how many times, as long as they're right.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said.
But you don't know if you're right until they've overviewed it.
But you only get 2 shots to be wrong.
So why not make it a penalty? You can challenge as much as you want, but if you're wrong, 10-yard penalty.
Can you be?
That's excessive.
5
yards.
All right, 5 yards, okay. But you got to do something. You can't just slow the game down to the point where you're challenging everything.
Well, that's what you're saying.
If you're getting it right, though. If you're getting it right.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. If you're getting it wrong, sometimes you're not even getting it wrong. We know they go and look at it and they keep the call even though it's wrong.
But what I'm saying is, in order to make this work without basically breaking football, you would have to have some sort of con to it. And I think maybe doing what you said, listen, I can if your calls are bad all game, I can challenge your bad calls all game.
Yeah.
But let's penalize things for it.
But only if you're right. That's the thing.
But that doesn't make sense because you don't know if you're right until after you've challenged. So you can't go, hey, I'm right,
that's
I'm challenging.
That's why we want to hold you from challenging, because we don't want you to
be wrong twice. If you're wrong twice, you're done for the game. Just like it is now. Mike is saying if you win a challenge, you shouldn't lose that challenge.
Right.
Of course not.
You should keep it.
Why?
Just continue. Yeah, just have a replenishing challenge until you're wrong. Okay.
Yes.
Well, 2
that's
times.
What
2 times
that's
wrong.
what we're saying.
You get a mulligan
So if you're wrong twice, you're done, just like you are now.
That's fine. I'm cool
But
with that.
you don't lose your challenge.
That's mint.
So you could technically challenge 15 plays if you're right 15 times. You never lost a
14
challenge.
out of 15.
That's a great idea. Yeah.
Okay, are you allowed to be this passive aggressive to have them challenge the same play again? I've been thinking this all. I've seen a couple that I'm like, can I send the other challenge now so you can watch that shit again? I just want to know if that's allowed.
We know the history of the refs though. But
can you do it though? Can you say, please?
The play stands. Oh yeah.
Go look at some more.
But in your world,
you're wrong.
Are they causing you to lose timeouts if you're wrong?
No.
So you're still losing timeouts?
No, you just lose a challenge.
On the first point of just if you're right, you keep the challenge. No losing of time. You don't get penalized if you're right.
Someone needs to put one of us on the
I don't think you should get penalized.
You're saying if you're wrong.
Yeah, if you're wrong.
If
are you still losing time?
If you're wrong, yeah, because you're dilly dallying the game.
Yeah, but you're also losing the challenge. Whereas if you're right, your challenges never go away.
The problem is that they don't change the calls. That's the problem though, because a lot of times they are right to challenge. That looks obvious.
I mean, in this situation,
don't change it.
No, in that situation, Belichick would have still had one challenge because he would have been right on the Travis Kelce fumble.
Yeah.
And he would have kept that challenge, and he would have been able to challenge N'Keal Harry.
And they blew that whistle quick, too. That was 2 touchdowns off the board.
And he was right on the spot, too. I don't know how that spot didn't change. I mean, the spot was terrible.
And
it was a yard difference.
And he would have been able to challenge the N'Keal Harry one, which we would have won that one.
He would have won,
kept his challenge.
We think he would have won. They would have said, not enough evidence. You know these guys.
It wasn't even close,
Can you trust the call?
No, well, I mean, that one.
If it's your team and you're rooting, can you trust the call coming back?
He was about 7 inches away from the sideline. It wasn't even that close.
Yeah, that's other. But how many times have we said that about something, and then they come back and it's the ruling on the field stands.
You've seen some. You've seen some where you're like, oh, Did the white grass move? Like I kind of feel like the white grass moved too.
And there was
Those
two
are the
of them.
close
Oh,
calls.
it's gonna move.
Yeah, the line judge at the pylon, and you had another one near where the line of scrimmage was.
He was running up with the play.
Running up
yeah.
with the play.
Yeah.
So
Just
you're-
like the Saints having the guy literally on his hands and knees staring directly at someone getting his face smashed in that championship game. It's gross. These guys can't say they ain't seeing it. They're seeing it.
Yeah.
They know what they're doing. It's
It's been bad. This year has been worse.
one of the worst.
done worse.
And you know what? I'm honestly, and again, so like I've been foreshadowing that butt this entire time, and the reason why I've been foreshadowing it is because as much as I believe those calls were horrendous, and as much as I believe that was one of the worst all-time top 3 worst officiated games I've ever seen in my life, the Patriots in their 20 years of success have never, in my memory, this guy's gonna know one because he knows everything, not been the benefit of the call in a key game.
He's gonna mention the. You're gonna no.
the Philly Super Bowl,
But you beat Philly.
Which one?
the second one.
Oh,
What
the
call?
second
What call?
Philly Super Bowl. I'm sorry. I
So
thought you
Corey
were talking
Clement
about
was
Philly.
bobbling the ball.
Wait,
Only
there's-
got one
there's two
foot
Phil-
in the back of the end zone.
But that wasn't egregious.
So that
questionable.
And
that wasn't
then
egregious.
that's one of those where like I don't have the proof to overturn bullshit.
Was that like on a
And-
bomb? Was that?
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
a
to
deep
Clements
pass. It was
back of the
close.
end
That
zone.
was close
Back
though.
of-
You got to say
know
it
what
was
it is?
close.
That this year,
This was worse.
that's a touchdown. But by the
Oh, yeah.
old catch rules,
Oh, yeah.
it probably isn't.
And Ertz was.
So,
Ertz
okay.
wasn't questionable.
and also the Philly special, the league admitted after that game,
Mm-hmm.
the week after Super Bowl, illegal formation.
yeah, but they do that every week. They come out with a lot of calls like that.
See,
This
there's
was
been-
Well, we've
been-
also seen the Philly special
And that
run
was
like
fourth
3
down.
times since.
I just feel like over the course of 20 years, the Patriots have been the benefactor more often
We
than
have.
not.
if you
Because
think about it, if you
of
think about it,
egregious
you look
this is what
back
I like
at-
about Mike.
You,
This is
you
what I like
look
about Mike.
back at the Jacksonville AFC Championship game.
Miles Jack's
they're-
dip set to the
They're
end zone.
up. They're up 10-0. Brady throws to Edelman. Edelman fumbles, right? And Miles Jack picks it up. They blow it dead.
No, it wasn't 10-0.
it was
at that
20
point.
to 10
It was 20 to 10.
in the fourth quarter.
It was 10-0 going into half, and then they threw a phantom pass interference call on Cooks, where A.J. Bouye did a perfect job of basically pushing him out of bounds with his back while searching for the ball, which is a DB maneuver. We all learned, and they call it, which then led to a hurry up and touchdown before half.
Well, the play that I'm talking about is when Miles
Yeah,
Jack
fourth
had the
quarter.
opportunity
It was
to
and then this
scoop
was
it,
the fumble,
Fourth
yes.
quarter.
scoop it and run it back. He was
And they blew it dead.
unabated to the end zone.
Which is still stupid.
Yes.
Another one against the Pats, Monday Night Football 2013 in
I
Carolina.
remember that game.
Pass
Well,
interference on Gronk, not called. Clearly being held.
Pass interference on Gronk.
I remember
don't
this play.
No,
it was Luke Kuechly,
It-
but it was
yeah.
close.
Oh, in the end zone.
Yeah,
I
it was
remember
a close
that.
call.
Oh, I remember that. I remember that.
I thought that one was.
I remember that.
I thought that one was a penalty on either one of those guys because
Yeah, I don't-
Gronk was doing one of these too.
I wouldn't
They
have got
were
mad.
both-
I wouldn't have got mad if they called the penalty on Kuechly. But I would.
I thought
I
I
didn't
thought,
I do
oh,
remember
wow,
that.
Now,
that's a
I
bad-
remember also, too,
I thought a
in
flag could have come out either way. in that one.
2016 on Sunday night game against the Seahawks, everybody wanted a pass interference call on Seattle on that.
This is the one I was going to bring
fade
on.
route to Gronk.
This is the one I was going to bring up.
That was a good no call. I had no issues
yes,
with that.
I'm glad you said that because I said the same thing. When I saw this play, I actually chastised Gronk. I said, Gronk, you completely threw out the handbook of greatness you are, and you went into that play going, I'm drawing a flag instead of I'm beating my defender.
Yeah.
You ran at him and took on and dude, this is Cam Chancellor. Cam Chancellor ain't shying away from me. He's like, come on, big boy. I got you. I'm big too. Like, we're gonna go. You forgot the whole 5-yard rule because you were a yard out.
Yep.
You forgot how much leniency that a guy his size is going to have on you in this much space, and you decided to try to play for a call instead of play, which I hate when players do. And I was like, Gronk, you should be ashamed for doing that. You played for a call there. And you should have because you could have probably mossed Chancellor the way you play had you just got in, turn, box out, go instead of trying to get this little tugging match.
Well, they were tugging each other. And,
Yeah,
and that's
yeah,
why I said
yeah.
good no call.
Oh, maybe that's the one I'm thinking of.
There was a
No, I know the Luke
it was
Kuechly one you're talking about.
31 to 24
The
loss
Gronk
to
one,
Seattle.
I'm thinking of
the
the
Gronk
Kuechly
one,
one,
Luke
yeah.
Kuechly was dead center of the end zone in
Yes.
front of the posts.
Deep
on
play.
Luke Kuechly. I remember that.
It was a long
I don't
throw
remember
too,
that.
right? They were like the 20-yard line, 25.
But then you
Fourth
got
and
then you
goal.
got then you got to play like the Pittsburgh play at the end of the game with
Oh,
Jesse
right.
James when he catches the ball, takes 3 steps.
No, he didn't take
reaches-
3 steps, but yes.
reaches for the end zone
Definite catch.
and hits the ball off the ground
Definite
on the
catch.
goal line.
Yeah, definite catch.
So he hits
And
the
they
goal
go
line
down
with
at
the
that point. At that
and they
point,
call it a touchback
That was two-
or whatever.
No,
it was,
they
right?
called it an incomplete pass, and then they
incomplete
threw it back.
pass, even
That's right.
worse.
And that was 2 years ago. And then we had that same exact situation happen in the Super Bowl on Zach Ertz.
Yeah, which was
And
was
then
a
they didn't
touchdown.
call it. and
Yeah.
then he didn't call it. And it's like, yeah, you shouldn't
No, they
have called
called
the
it
first
a
time.
touchdown first.
They called
Exactly.
Zach Ertz one
And I'm like, yeah,
touchdown.
you should have did that with
Because
Jesse
right,
James
both should have
too.
been
Yeah, asshole.
touchdowns. That's what I'm saying.
Which is
It's-
right,
both
but
were
there's no
touchdowns.
parity. That's
Different.
But that year was a shitty year because the Patriots
It is.
were 3 times controversial that year. There was the Jesse James during the regular season. There was the Kelvin Benjamin back corner of the end zone on the Bills, where Romo in the booth said he's clearly in. It's one of the hardest catches I've ever seen, but he's in. They called that one out. They called that one not a catch because of the catch rule, even though his toes were in and he hit, and then there was like a weird whatever. And then that very same year, Safarian Jenkins going into the end zone, they call a touchback on a fumble as he's crossing the pylon.
yeah.
Like split second.
That one was so bad.
So
I'm
so
like,
like my issue, what I'm saying is this: although that was one of the worst officiated games I've ever seen, hands down, ever against any team, the outcry from like a lot of Patriots fans was so wild because it's like, dude, how the hell have you forgotten what 20 years has been like for you? Like,
Yeah.
you had one egregious, terrible called game in 20 years. You've had bad calls, but you've had one egregiously bad called against you game in 20 years. What the hell is this pitchfork shit happening right now? Like, that's crazy.
And the thing is, too, I don't know how many of them watch the whole NFL like we do,
Yeah.
Right.
but
right.
I see it league wide.
Yeah.
No,
this
dude,
is
this
bad.
year,
This
this
is
year.
Absolutely.
it's bad.
Also, that is wicked cool. What you're wearing,
The
the little,
Saint-
like, windbreaker thing. It's so sick. I want
Dude,
one.
the Saints
I want one.
the Saints continue to get hosed by the refs over and over and over again.
Yes.
Like
Dude,
this year.
I don't know what the
this year.
Saints,
it's weird.
Saints did, but that's
Yeah,
it's
Saints,
crazy.
for crying
This
It's
just-
nuts, dude.
Was it in the Kansas City game that just happened to the Saints too? They got
No, Saints
a touchdown called back.
Niners.
Drew Brees' touchdown, his record-setting touchdown.
Oh,
got called
Indianapolis.
back.
Yeah, Monday night game.
Yeah.
Indianapolis.
That got called back. I'm like, what?
I think it was Saints Bucks. Wasn't it Saints Bucks where they had a scoop and score, Cam Jordan?
Yes.
Yep.
And they
Saints
the
Rams.
Rams.
Saints
Week
Rams.
Saints
again,
Rams.
Rams.
And they
yeah.
stopped it. I'm like, you did it
Week
against
2.
the Rams again, you sons of
Yeah,
bitches.
they've been
And that was with
hosing.
They just
that
missed
was-
so many calls.
And that
They
was,
missed so
I
many
believe,
calls.
was Teddy was in, right?
Yeah.
Bridgewater was in.
Teddy was in.
It was the game that Breeze got hurt.
He hadn't gotten into his groove yet. He was still not playing, and he hadn't hit his thing yet. So, and I had said multiple times that one play changed the game, and people were like, how? And I'm like, because if they score that touchdown and take the lead, the offensive play call, they turn the page and they go to a different sheet, and it changes the entire play call instead of playing from behind now.
Yes.
Because Teddy, they're calling scripted weird plays for him because he's a backup. It wasn't until later that he kind of took off.
Yeah.
They're calling the like Matt Moore when he went in for the Chiefs kind of plays.
Mm-hmm.
You take the lead, how they call those now, especially for a backup QB, changes completely.
Every play in the NFL is cause and effect from the previous play.
And I hated it. I hated
shouldn't
it.
be that way. It really shouldn't be that way, but it is. But last week, this was a huge topic.
But yeah, Pat's hosed absolutely in that game.
This was speaking of the Patriots. Last week, this was a huge topic, and a couple of us were way too sick to get in here and do it. And as you can tell, I'm still kind of battling this cold, but.
Drink your juice.
Blowing dudes.
There was a report that made headlines that was extremely controversial. The Patriots, they get they're at Cincinnati filming a "Do Your Job" video, and they saying that they're trying to video the advanced scout on the sideline. Cincinnati thinks they're in a position they're not supposed to be in. They confiscate the tapes. The NFL investigates. Patriots admit, yes, we were videotaping something we weren't supposed to videotape. Then some of the audio and video of that was released. And a lot of the fan reaction to this was, why would we videotape the 1-12 Bengals? Why would we do this?
It's a stupid argument.
And it is a
Logically,
stupid
right
argument.
off the jump.
Because it doesn't tell you anything about what was happening. It doesn't. The Patriots were filming the 1-12 Bengals. Okay, that is the instance where a team caught on to what was going on. That doesn't tell you if they were doing it the week before or the week before that or the week before that. And there's been argument on both ends where people say there was nothing of significance on the sideline that they were videotaping. There's people saying they were videotaping hand signals. But the fact of the matter is they were found to be in violation again of videotaping a sideline, and the NFL still hasn't kind of commented on what their plan is to do.
According to a report the other day, still haven't started their goddamn investigation.
Yeah.
Also, didn't Patrick Chung do mad blow in his mansion? What's going on with that? Whatever happened with that? All right, whatever. But yeah, so like we had said before the show started, and these guys agreed. It's one of those things where it's like if you're known, even if you'd like have been exonerated or you were or didn't happen or something, in our society, there's climate, and you gotta understand the climate of it, and it's like when you're known for something you don't want to be known for, you avoid the situations. Robert Kraft continues to show his cluelessness, which he's always kind of come off like a clueless old dude. But
he's getting up there in age.
to his credit, he made the one smart choice of his life, which was let the best football mind ever run the team, basically, and do what you got to do.
Yeah.
But he's always kind of just lost out there and doing things he shouldn't do.
Lulu
and this,
Mingby.
Like what? What has he done there?
Lulu and Mingby.
and this is just another one. It's like
Finger popping
so
ass
with Spygate, which is something that'll never be forgotten over his legacy.
I won't.
You should know better than to ever let even a camera phone that is linked to you be on the sideline of one of your opponents. That was so even if you did nothing wrong, which I'm sure you did. I don't even think they did anything. You're just not thinking, Robert Kraft. It's just stupid to even like.
The issue I have with this is the timing, right? Say what you want about the 1-12 Bengals. They're the 1-12 Bengals. They're bad. Do I think the Patriots need to videotape them to beat them? No. But do I think they were? Or do I think they have been? Yes.
Well, that's the same. They did that with the Deflategate.
And the timing, of this.
Did they need that to beat? Right.
No,
I heard the same sort of argument.
Like,
did they need? He could have thrown a golf ball. He could have thrown a
beanbag. They smacked the shit out of
it.
They absolutely smacked the shit out of the culture. The fact of the matter is, you shouldn't be doing shit you're not supposed to do.
The timing of this is the problem, right?
Yeah.
You didn't choose to film your Do Your Job segment the week before your Bengals game by coincidence. This is
somebody was doing their job. Somebody literally was doing their job. That's their job.
This is by design.
Yeah.
I mean, you could have chosen the week after, the week following, the 4 weeks before. Like, why did it have to be the week before you play the team?
If you're trying to get a competitive advantage, blah blah blah, whatever you're trying to do, it doesn't matter who the opponent is. You want to beat that team, right? They take these teams seriously.
Well, what they do is they send a scout to the upcoming opponent's game. But you're not allowed to videotape or anything. You can look with binoculars. You can write on a notepad or whatever that you have.
Yeah, no electronics.
But they don't look at it like a fan does. Oh, they're playing the Bengals this week. No, this is our opponent. They take them serious.
And they went into half tied.
We've talked about
it was a close game until it blew open.
We've talked about stuff on this show about Little League stealing signals, all that stuff. And I'm a full proponent of if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. But when you're
good to know.
When you're a piece of shit.
No. When you're a repeat offender, you don't get the benefit of the doubt. That's the thing.
Exactly.
You have people say, "Oh, this is bullshit. This isn't. They didn't tape anything they weren't supposed to. The Bengals making shit up." No, the Bengals get the benefit of the doubt because the Bengals were the victim here, and they aren't under investigation previously for the same thing. So.
Are you sure? What's that site? YourTeamCheats2.com or something like that? Is that what it is?
You can't say that the Patriots did nothing wrong when they've been in this seat before and now are there again. And then you listen to the audio and you really start to think that, okay, this really had nothing to do with the Do Your Job filming. Did you guys get to hear the audio?
Yeah.
So the guy in the audio, did you hear it? The guy in the audio says... He goes, "What are you doing, man? Why are you recording the sideline?" He goes, "Oh, we're trying to get video of the advanced scout on the sideline." And the guy goes, "Let me see the tapes." They put the tapes in. There's no advanced scout on the sideline. He goes, "You don't have any advanced scout in any of this film. What are you talking about?" He goes, "It's zoomed right in on the sideline." And the guy, realizing now that he's got to backpedal and kind of backed himself into a corner, he says, "Listen, man, I'll delete all of this off the tapes right now. We can forget this ever happened." That's guilt.
Yes.
That's guilt. A person doing something innocently doesn't say that. And a guy who has 30 plus years
just keep explaining what you're trying to say if there's something you have to explain.
And a guy who has 30 plus years experience as a videographer for the Patriots knows where he can and can't record. I mean, you're not going to tell me that this guy mistakenly recorded something that he wasn't supposed to.
Listen, dude, if someone tells you, if someone accuses you of like touching a kid and then you get off the next time you're in a room alone and a kid walks in, you leave the room. You go, no, I'm not even, nope, not even, I don't even want to be in this room. I'm good. Nope, I don't want to be in this. Keep that kid away from me. Thank you, later. That's what I'm saying with the Robert Kraft thing. Like, Not even a camera phone. Nothing. If it's camera related, why are you letting it on anyone's sideline? You haven't learned? I don't know why, because you're probably getting your butthole fingered, which I don't hate you for.
And
I don't hate
again,
you for that.
and again, I don't think this is something that the Patriots needed to do to beat them.
No.
They didn't.
No, again,
it's the
but
same
that's what
thing in
everything is. It's
same-
always
It's always that.
Same thing in 07. Foley guilty.
Mhm.
The funny thing is that across the country thinks it's about filming practices and walkthroughs.
No.
No, it's filming from the sideline. Eric Magini, started happening on September 9, 2007.
Yeah, it's filmed from
in the Meadowlands.
It was
Yeah.
the problem wasn't what they were filming; it was from where they were filming. it.
Right,
Exactly.
and Bill being Bill ignored the 2 letters sent by the league office in 06 and
burned
in
them.
07.
No, he didn't ignore him. He wiped his ass with him. Bill Belichick's
and
crazy.
did it out anyway, and lost the first round pick, $500,000 fine, and $250,000.
And which makes you wonder what this time around is going to be, because
If there's no evidence of football operations, it should be just a fine to the organization.
I'll say this: that guy's thing, that because I read that as well. Jared's little like the guy, what he said, that's very damning. But again, in American law, that's what we call hearsay or conjecture. It doesn't actually prove anything, even though human beings.
well, you don't need that in the NFL. That's
No,
the thing.
Yeah.
but human beings, we know that that's an admission. When you respond that way and act that way, we know that's an admission.
It's
of guilt.
circumstantial
Exactly.
evidence. We know it.
But it
We know
becomes
it.
circumstantial, which then the Patriots can use to fight the NFL on. Like, oh, you got no proof we did that.
But the NFL doesn't even need.
Yeah, they don't need
at the
that.
lowest.
Oh,
Standard,
I know they don't need it.
at
Trust
the,
me, I
At
know.
the lowest standard. of
Ezekiel
the-
Elliott's on my football team. Trust
At
me,
the
I know they don't
lowest
need it.
standard of the criminal justice system, you have preponderance of the evidence. They don't even
Dude.
need a preponderance of the
I
evidence.
wanted to say.
They just need to know that it happened. That's pretty much.
Yeah.
It was a documented incident.
When
That's
he's-
all they need to
I
know.
mean, here's how I see it. Spygate 1.
Mhm.
Guilty. Foley. No doubt about it. Deflategate. No. This one, guilty. But
For me,
how much-
Deflategate was guilty circumstantially.
But
without
how? But think about
But
it.
also,
Just the text message.
How in the halftime?
the text messages
between those two idiots, that's what I'm saying.
Right.
They always got
Well,
two idiots that are
well, you-
talking too much.
Yeah. Lenny and Squiggy. Whoop-de-doo. Anyway.
I don't think.
Yeah,
Brady-
but the
I don't
fact
think
that
Brady
Delaney and
is guilty.
Squiggy is what makes them guilty.
But-
Because why? They're not going to do that on their own. Oh, here I am.
But-
let's do this.
What the NFL punished Brady for was not cooperating to their liking. Not giving the
Hey, Gronk spiked his phone. That's right.
giving the phone, which you're going to get all the same text information anyway,
And a lot
from
of Giselle news.
McNally and Jastrzemski anyway, and the refs had time to measure 11 of the 12 Patriots footballs being underflated. 3 of the 4 that they measured for the Colts that they only had time for was underflated as well. There was a good trend there with the ideal gas law that the NFL ignored.
Yeah,
Yeah, they didn't. But.
yeah, for sure.
Just gonna say,
And again,
if my wife
here's
was
the thing.
Giselle, I would have
So
spiked
it's
my
one of those.
phone
It's
too.
one of these things where again the Patriots are damning themselves in
anyone to
these
see those
situations because
little Boyd body news.
I agree with everything you just said. And I,
Giselle.
just like I would agree with the current one, the,
Playing with fire.
not even the playing with fire, even different than that. You get away with that if you don't have 2 morons saying things that damn you. Just like this way, you get away with it if this guy doesn't go, hey man, I'll delete it if you want me to. It's like both of these could have been completely blown under the rug if you didn't have 2 people who just aren't good enough to run your scheme with.
Right.
That's the real thing. Like you would have gotten if there wasn't for those text messages between those 2 dudes basically being like, yeah, this was a thing.
the
Deflategate would have never been anything.
the real thing that kind of backed all of the people in support of the Patriots up into a corner in this argument was because I listen to EEI every day pretty much, and
God bless you.
what they I mean it's hard sometimes.
I know.
but I do, but what they did before all this audio came out was exactly what we just said. The Bengals, are they serious? Why would we tape the Bengals and risk this and risk that? And there's no way, this is bullshit. And this is the Bengals reaching. And it was all that. Then it was, this videographer's been working there for 30 plus years. You think he would do something that he doesn't know how to do? The Bengals
no
are
idea.
lying. Then the audio came out and it was a 180. Well, it doesn't admit anything. I mean,
It's
Yeah, they-
tribalism at its finest.
Which is what I hate because a lot of this, it makes these fans and these talking heads look like shitty people. Honestly, when you become
You're guilty.
When
when you
you're wrong,
become
you're
the kind
wrong.
of person who's
Guilty.
like, when you become the kind of person who's like, I mean, if you don't got concrete evidence, it's like you're being a piece of shit. I'm like, is that what you feel about everything in life? Like, how about I punch your daughter in the face, but there's no evidence for you to do anything about it?
It's,
Like,
it's
you know what I
guilty
mean?
Double
of
standard.
stupidity, and it's going to be interesting to see what the NFL does and why they're dragging their feet. Maybe they're trying to get Ted Wells again to make a new report and have the NFL front office edit that report like Jeffrey Pash did for Deflate Rape.
I wonder if they're waiting for the end of the season because kind of coming out with it right before playoff time is, you know what I mean? It's kind of...
There'd definitely be an outrage if they did something crazy.
But Spygate 1, all right, that started on that Sunday, week
Spygate
1.
I love it.
The Phantom Menace.
And then
It's like a Star Wars trilogy.
and then the penalties were handed out that Thursday that week,
know.
that Wednesday
Yeah,
or
I'm
Thursday that week, going into week 2 against the Chargers on Sunday Night Football.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Week 2?
Yeah, it was they got caught on the Sunday, and the penalties were handed out on that Wednesday or Thursday leading up to week 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not sure why the NFL is kind of holding this out, but the other argument I've heard is, oh, the NFL's dragging their feet on this and to spite the Patriots and because they're against the Patriots. Well, here's an idea: if you think the NFL is out to get you, then stop violating the rules.
Maybe
I
they're
mean,
just
That's
getting
a very good point.
maybe-
Or not even violating the rules, but stop putting yourself in position.
compromising
It's like, listen,
positions.
hey, I did nothing wrong. No, but the whole group of friends you keep hanging out with are gangbangers, and you're going to get in trouble being around them.
Yes.
Stop putting yourself in compromising positions.
Or maybe the NFL's just getting slower. Look at how long
Yeah.
it's been taking them to deal with Antonio Brown.
Yeah.
well, they came out and the Patriots came out and admitted that they were
Yes, they did.
violating the rules. So I mean, there's no investigation as far as have they violated. They admitted that they did. So
It's just to what extent and who
yeah.
it's benefiting.
yes,
Yeah, yeah.
If it's now the NFL's job is to investigate if there's been some sort of competitive edge gained by these videos. Which I mean, you're gonna get hand signals, right? I mean, that's really all you're gonna get. You're gonna get hand signals and you're gonna get packages of players grouping.
Which
Yeah,
let me
that's
say this. The Zach Taylor, the coach, is the one who ordered this, right? He was like, "Hey, I found this." I'm pretty sure he's the one who like brought it to the NFL's attention.
he ordered the code red.
He's the one who brought it to
I
the
think he
attention.
did, yeah.
So the minute he did that, they went to the drawing board and changed all their hand signals. That's just fact. If they didn't, then he's not an NFL
and they
coach.
Well, the thing
change
is, though-
and they change game to game too. So.
Yeah.
Where they were filming, though, you can't really see the signals.
Yeah.
Which is kind of mind-boggling. Why would you film the sideline anyway?
Yeah, to get what do you
Because
get?
you're getting their names and their asses. You're not getting signals.
Yeah, they're really just all you're really doing is just setting yourself up to pay a fine you don't have to need by doing dumb shit. It's
And
just
lose draft
yeah,
picks.
It's
Yeah,
just stupid.
yeah.
And but it puts the conversation on the table of the tainted legacy because now people say, well, since 07 to 2019, they get caught in 07, they get caught in 19. What about the middle period? What was going on in that middle period? Were they taping? Were they not taping?
It definitely leads you to speculation with this smoke, this fire. If you keep throwing yourself, like you said earlier, in situations,
And then
at some
it makes
point it's
people
you.
like me like, oh, crap, another stupid
Yeah.
thing.
I know, I know. I would hate it. I would hate it.
Hey,
Doing
I
stupid
feel you.
stuff.
I
Just
feel
win
you, dude.
games.
Absolutely, 100%.
Keep winning games and stop.
That's the thing. Is it puts things onto the table that are unnecessary for
Yeah, big time.
This didn't even have to be talked about.
At
It
all.
didn't even have to be talked about. It was so retarded.
I don't even like
but,
it. I
But
don't
they
even
but
like
they
the
did it.
story.
But you do it to yourself,
Like-
and it's like, what the shit?
I just want to watch football with pride. Leave me alone.
Yeah.
let's talk playoff picture.
Word.
'Cause I think I'm losing the rest of my voice here. So
I'm going pretty good so far.
the Patriots obviously winning last night over the Bills puts them into the 2 seed, gives them the first round bye, which we know in the past that all of their Super Bowl runs have come off of seasons that they've had a first round bye. So
Yep.
probably guarantees them at least an AFC Championship appearance at this point. I mean, they're gonna have to face the Chiefs.
I'm not as sure as I am as I have been
As
in
I
the past
was,
about
yes.
them. I think some of these teams have a chance to
I
come
mean,
in.
at this time last year, how were you feeling?
Oh, that they were definitely.
I thought they were. I thought
knew
they were
they
in
were
trouble,
going to
but
I had them losing in Kansas City, just like this year. I have them losing in Baltimore.
yes,
I knew they were
think-
going to the AFC Championship, but I thought they were going to lose. to
Yeah,
them.
same. But I think this year's team is not as good as last year's.
No, it's
not
not. It's
100%.
definitely not.
And their defense is showing. It's showing that it was not to take anything away from Gilmore. Gilmore's had a great season, but it's showing that it was a lot of smoke and mirrors over the past few weeks, which shows the greatness of Bill. It shows that yes, I was able to hide the simplicity of my defense for 12 weeks before you guys caught on to it.
First 8 weeks.
Yeah, before you guys caught on to it, and now teams are beating it and completely avoiding Gilmore to get the ball. I mean, Cole Beasley shredded the secondary.
Yeah,
he's
he
Cole,
did.
and he's Cole Beasley. But teams have been
And
doing
he
that.
wasn't
lately.
on that wide receiver list either.
Which is bullshit. Hey, I'll tell you what. He's a
Adam
better.
Humphries.
He's a better white receiver than all the white receivers that are on that list.
You can make a top 500. He wouldn't be on it.
Why wasn't Jason Sehorn on that?
Oh my God.
But like,
Right?
so
Could have been.
So that's one thing where last year,
Wasn't Larry Brown on that cornerback
Well,
list?
last
Super Bowl
year-
MVP.
Right?
last year, even though their defense wasn't as
Two
prolific, I still didn't see them falling apart. Usually their D picks up around this time. It doesn't slow down around this time.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Well,
it's weird. That's a little different.
The defense has struggled in games that you'd expect them to struggle. Against the Chiefs, against the Texans.
Athletic quarterback.
well, it struggled against the Bills, and he is an athletic quarterback, but
But he sucks.
But you also have to understand Cole Beasley went off for like 100 something, and it's like that's Cole Beasley.
Yeah, like 120, yeah.
Yeah, like okay, and then the Bengals.
That's all they got, though.
But the Bengals
John Brown.
literally went as far as Andy Dalton could hold his load.
I mean, the thing is, if you look at the
Apparently not long.
the
No,
AFC
one half of
playoff
football.
picture here, all the teams have a really good athletic quarterback except for Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Do we have Can we scroll down just to see the in the hunt thing?
Yeah. So Baltimore, obviously, with the 1 seed.
the
Mike-
Rams are
Mike.
gone.
Rams are gone. Yeah.
Yeah, this is probably not updated from last night.
No, it's not.
Well, they haven't.
They
at
have
8
them
and
at the
7
right
now.
record though. Yeah, that's weird. They were eliminated.
Well, I guess it's like
No, they
Yeah.
were eliminated.
They were eliminated.
Yeah, they should have been.
how? Well, they can't win the wild card.
Someone's not doing their job on NFL.com.
Correct.
Yeah.
And can we eliminate the Raiders and the Browns too for crying out loud?
You could probably eliminate the Cowboys too. I mean,
Oh, I
I'll
already.
tell you
I
what,
did
the
that
Browns,
like 6-8
the
weeks
Browns,
ago.
the Browns though are turning around. They're doing better. They're ending better than I thought they would. They
Yeah,
could
they
go
did
8 and
okay.
8. They could go 8.
They got
and
the
8.
Ravens
did
today.
they
though.
lose 2 weeks in a row?
Yes, but they beat the Ravens once.
Which
They
makes me
did beat
feel
them
like the
once.
Ravens a lot today.
Yeah,
because of that
that's
reason.
the way. That's the
Oh,
way you
the
got to
Ravens
think
are
though,
going
for
to
sure.
stomp them today.
God, I hope.
Yeah, they are.
God, I hope the Titans get in.
But
over
even
the
if they
Steelers.
but you know what? Even if they
No
go 7 and
I
9,
said I hope they're both 8-6.
I don't want that to happen.
I do because of Tannehill. Let's go.
Tanny. Well, I'm playing Tanner. In
I
my
have so many
finals,
teams this year. This is what it's like to change teams. I have like 50 teams.
I'm in the finals in my Yahoo Fantasy League today.
Nice.
And the other guys got Tanny at quarterback,
Oh, you're done.
but I got
So
AJ
you
Brown
got-
at receiver. So it's like
Ooh.
So-
Ooh.
Like,
Makes it
Ooh.
interesting.
So realistically, in the AFC, with probably looking at a divisional week matchup of the Ravens and the Chiefs. I mean, the Ravens and the Steelers. No. Oh, I don't know where I'm going with this.
The Titans are the only team that can get in the AFC with any realistic.
The
The
Patriots.
2,
Yeah.
6, and 8 teams
Oh,
that'd be
over
very
Pittsburgh.
unrealistic. So it's going to be the Steelers or the Titans at 6,
Mm-hmm.
facing the Chiefs most likely in Kansas City.
Wait, Bills.
Bills Texans is going to be a game. They're going to have that
Yeah.
game
In
that's
Houston, yep.
In Houston, so that's going to be a good game.
In
I
Houston.
think.
In
yeah, I
Houston.
think so.
Good game.
But the Patriots are probably going to end up playing the Bills again, more than likely. But,
It depends if Houston beats them. I mean,
I don't know, man.
Houston beat the Pats, can't beat the Bills.
Dude, Houston is very
No,
up
'cause-
and down.
no, because
very
we're
up
saying-
They're
and down.
streaky.
They are, but they can do
Houston-
it. We're acting like they
Houston-
can't. We're acting like they're going to
No,
lose
but
to
the
the Bills
Patriots
for
will
sure.
get the Chiefs because we established this before. Because they'll get if
The
they're
highest
two,
seed
yeah, they'll
remaining.
get the 2-3,
Yeah.
and the 1 will get the 4-5,
Yes.
unless the 6 seed wins, which is still possible. They could win that game.
I don't think the Steelers
And then we
beat the
would be
Chiefs.
rooting for either the Bills or the Texans to beat the Ravens.
I think the Titans have a better chance of beating the Chiefs than the Steelers do. If the Titans
yes,
get in.
yes, damn it.
I don't know. I don't
Yes.
I think they do.
Yes.
know. Let me tell
You
you
can
why.
score.
Let me tell you why I don't know.
And a quarterback with experience. That's the difference.
True, but if
Yeah.
all you really need from the Steelers is get James Conner to have a career day, and
That's it.
well, he's a good running back. So
Yeah,
it's
he
not-
is. He can have a
And,
big
and some
day.
picks
And the-
for Fitzpatrick.
and your defense just do what they've done. The Titans need Tannehill to continue this thing where he could fall off a cliff at any time, and their defense isn't the Steelers' defense.
No.
They're not on paper anyway. So I mean, now Henry on the other hand keeps them in it because Henry's going off.
Well, that's
And
what's
he could
helping.
run
Tanny.
that
That's
time
what's
of
helping
possession.
Tanny. That's
Yeah,
why I always
so-
said he'd be at least.
So I think the
serviceable.
Steelers are a little closer to each other than you're giving them credit for.
But
And we see upsets like that in the
the,
playoffs a
the
lot.
reason why I said
Yeah.
the Bills will probably play the Pats again is because the Texans, they beat the Patriots. Then the following week they go on the road to Denver and get blown out by Denver.
Yeah, they're streaky. We know that.
Like,
Right,
This
but the
team is
Bills
like-
the Bills wouldn't come to Foxborough just with a win most
Unless it's
likely.
AFC
That's what I'm
champs.
saying.
But
Yeah,
the
so
Bill-
it's
the
going to be a
Bills-
long road to get there.
The Bills have been consistent though throughout the year. They've been underdogs a lot this year, and they've won a lot of those games.
It's a good team. Saying that.
10-5, and they
still
were in a
think they're a good
position to
team.
win that game yesterday.
I feel no different about it.
Minus Josh Allen, they probably win that game.
I think he's getting better personally, but I do.
All I see him do, but if you think about all you seen him do yesterday was what draft day you knew he could do. He ran,
Throw
he
deep.
bombed deep. He ran, he bombed deep.
He did. He missed Beasley in the slot and
He
one that I
missed.
remember.
Knox should have had a
He missed
3-touchdown day.
Yeah, he missed 2
Knox should have
touchdowns.
had a 3-touchdown
Yeah.
day.
Over in the NFC,
Jam packed.
yeah,
Anybody could be a 1 or 2 seed.
Packers
Yes.
about to win that division, baby. That's a call
Seahawks
out.
will be a 1 seed again if they win today
yes,
from the 5.
and I hope they do because I do not.
If the Packers win today,
You don't
they
want the
clinch.
Niners.
If the Packers win
the
today, they
Niners,
clinch the division.
the Niners haven't been that good the last 6 games, man.
No,
3-3, well, 4-3 over the last 7.
and they haven't looked that great.
No, I mean their defense is spectacular, but they're not looking like the 8-0 Niners that started the season.
I think any
That's-
one of the NFC teams can go to Super Bowl except for the NFC East winner.
The
Yeah.
Niners.
That's true. Yeah, you're right.
The
really
Niners.
feels that
way.
I
Right.
disagree. I don't think the Vikings can either.
You don't
I
think
think the
they can?
Saints, Hawks, Packers, and Niners.
You don't
can.
think the Vikings could?
If Thielen's healthy and Dalvin's healthy,
I'm just saying,
Yes.
like,
Well, that's
I'm
the thing. Dalvin's missing today, which is a
Yep.
huge implication
Tomorrow
for
night.
playoffs. I mean, yeah, he's
Yeah.
missing that. If he's missing today, that means he's really hurt. So that's if he's missing a game that's going to choose the winner of their division, then he's really
He's
hurt.
I
hurt,
mean,
yeah.
They're done.
having Alexander
Some
Madison
time.
isn't that bad. He's averaged
He's
4.6
good. Yeah,
yards a
Madison's
carry.
good.
And the Cowboys today, obviously playing for the division.
The biggest game
against
of the day,
Eagles.
isn't it? I mean,
And we talked about this
Literally.
all season, right?
It's going to be a hot ass game.
I
too.
think week
Fuck.
1 we talked about the Cowboys, how they every year come down to the last game of the season for the division. Like
It's not every
like
year.
it seems that
a
way.
lot.
It does seem that way, but 2016 wasn't too long ago.
Yeah.
In 2014,
Yeah, 2016 and
you were
2014.
what 12 and 4 in both.
13 and 13.
2013 we were 13 and 3.
I just said 13 and 13. I need food.
Well, that is probably
13 and
Jason
3, and then
Garrett's,
terrible officiating robbed us in the
and then
Packers game.
average.
Fucking
13 and
assholes.
3 and then following season 8 and 8.
that's how the league is, man.
Look at the
Just
Rams.
is.
That's the Rams
It's
this year.
just There's no consistency to it.
I saw a meme today. It said things that are only good for 1 year. It was like phone charger, this, that, and
And the Rams.
Los Angeles Rams.
God,
Gurley also
Sucks.
looking like he's done.
he's bad.
Looking like he's gonna fall. He's falling off a cliff.
Yeah. He's doing what running backs do: 5 years and see you,
yep.
see you later.
Which is good to me because although I don't like seeing great players go down, it just keeps Zeke higher up on the totem pole, which I'm happy
So
with.
if the Ravens win the Super Bowl, are we gonna give Jackson like an apology on here on
no,
air?
if the Ravens
Because it was
win-
about the Super Bowl, I remember.
So
At
if
least
the,
the
no, if
call.
the
not a good
Ravens, if the
quarterback.
Ravens
Caller.
win, no, if the Ravens win the Super Bowl, what I'll say is Jackson was pivotal in. No, I'm sorry. Jackson had one of the greatest seasons of all time a player's ever had. If they win the Super Bowl,
Okay, fair.
I will not put. But he can fall off. He can Doug Williams it right off a cliff for the rest of his career after that. He easily could. But he will. But if he does win it, hands down, had one of the greatest seasons a quarterback has ever had.
But the
Hands down.
crazy part is that if he does,
He's
win
already
the
had
Super
that
Bowl-
without winning
He
it.
does.
If he does win the Super Bowl this year, that kind of cements him in history
Facts.
from one season.
I'm cheering for
Yeah,
that.
but Doug Williams is cemented in history. You know what I mean?
I know, but Doug Williams didn't have a season like Lamar Jackson.
No.
Yeah, Doug
no.
didn't run like that.
No, Doug didn't really run. No, you're right. But
this
Lamar
guy broke records.
Yeah, Lamar's already
And
kind of
if
cemented
he
his
won
place
the Super
because
Bowl.
he's got over 30 touchdowns and he rushed for 1,000 yards. So it's like, it's wild. He's had a wild season. Again,
like
the substance,
1,200 yards
the
rushing
substance, the substance of those touchdowns. You got to look a little deeper if you understand football. So I still give it but I'm not going to sit up here and talk shit about him today at all because the dude's got 33 passing touchdowns. He's got 33 fucking pass touchdowns. That's wild. You go over 30, that's pretty wild. If he wins the Super Bowl, might be the single greatest individual
These are
player
the-
performance in history.
These are about 25 of them right here.
IPO, baby.
But, you know, it might, in terms of the whole grand scheme, it might be the single greatest individual performance by a player in history if he wins the Super Bowl.
Yeah, man.
But I still won't go his head and be like, oh yeah, he's great. Blah, blah, blah. Like players have seasons like that. It does happen.
I agree.
Yeah.
There have been plenty of bum players who have had amazing seasons that are historic.
Yeah.
But honestly, if he does it, that's cool. Why wouldn't I want to see a guy like him
I don't
play
know.
10 years? I'd love that. I just don't like putting my eggs in baskets that I feel I'll end up being wrong. But shit, if I get to see this dude rush for 10K, that'd be pretty awesome.
Let's go back to week 1, I think. When we
Week 1?
we picked our division winners in our
Packers,
Super Bowl.
bitch.
Eagles.
Did you pick the Eagles?
I did.
You piece of
I
shit.
had Dallas.
You guys all had Dallas.
I
I
had
had the
Dallas.
Eagles. And it comes down to
Let's go
3
division.
hours from now.
Let's go division by division. I had the Brownies, which was a terrible.
we
pick.
should have wrote this down.
I had the
you know?
Steelers.
I had
I got it.
Steelers
I
with
got
the
the
Browns
audio.
as a wild card.
Yeah, but we don't have it right now.
No, I don't have the audio. But
I know who I had. I had the
know who I picked.
Steelers.
I had the Browns,
I had the Browns.
but I
And
said
the-
this division would have 3 playoff teams, but they only have 2.
But you're not far off because like the Browns are still in the hunt. The Steelers
Yeah,
are in.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
not like you're
Yeah.
way off. You know.
yeah, I said the Browns too, and
We all said
I'll
the Pats.
eat shit on that. I'll eat
Yep.
shit on that.
We all said the Pats.
Yeah.
I said the Chiefs.
I had the Chiefs with the Chargers as
Chiefs.
a wild card.
Yeah, same.
Yep, I had
Yeah, hard.
I had Pats, Chiefs, Browns.
Titans.
I said Colts. I think.
In preseason, I had the Colts.
I may
But
have
that's
said
when,
because,
when Luck retired,
Titans.
We should've wrote this shit
I
down.
changed to the
Titans.
Texans.
Titans.
I'm gonna have to go back and listen to the audio.
I changed to the
but-
Texans
Yeah.
after
Probably
Luck
before we
retired.
did the
Titans,
segment.
Rob.
You fuck.
Yeah.
Nah, whatever.
Dude, I told you we're winging this whole
We took
show.
the Bears. I
I
know
think
we
we're doing pretty good.
I was
took the-
completely unprepared for the show.
I think we're doing pretty good.
At least you admit it.
completely
There's a lot of
unprepared.
talking
I had the Bears.
Dude,
You had the
I was
Bears.
all in on the Packers,
I
baby.
made-
Since
I
week
made-
1.
I made the worst take of all time in this division.
I was with you though. I wasn't quite on the MVP train, but I was with the Bears this year.
I said
I had Minnesota,
Yeah, you did. Good pick.
So me and you are still in it.
Yeah.
For that.
Good pick.
but I had believe I had Green Bay and Atlanta as the wild card.
this is one of the better divisions in football this year.
Yeah. The Lions weren't bad early in the year, and then they had
No.
that bad game in Green Bay. Then Stafford got hurt. Like they
If you
really
look
weren't
at the
that
Lions
bad.
have also been a team that's
But they-
hard to pick week to week, even when they play a good
Yeah,
team.
they
It's
play
like,
hard.
shit, they
They
win.
play hard, that team.
and this past week, Detroit renewed Matt Patricia and Dan Quinn to come back next season.
When you look
Fair
at
enough.
the Lions, though, a lot of their losses were
Bogman,
like
sorry.
They lost a lot of tough.
last
games.
drive type things. They lost a lot of close.
And they
games.
did lose a lot of games without their starting quarterback, too.
Yeah, it's a
Oh,
big
yeah.
deal.
I picked the Cowboys.
Yeah, I picked
So,
the Cowboys, yeah.
I'm gonna keep rolling with that
I
tonight.
picked the Eagles.
I took the Rams in this division.
I think I had
I had the
Chiefs.
Rams.
I think I
I had the
had
Rams.
Chiefs Saints Super Bowl.
Nobody thought
I
about
had
the
the
Niners
Saints.
coming in. Nobody.
I had Saints beating the Cowboys in the NFC Championship. That's what I
Nobody
said.
thought about the Cowboys. I mean the Rams in this division. Nobody.
No.
49ers. Sorry. My
No,
bad.
The Niners
they
no.
didn't come up.
No, but we all knew the Rams were going to shit the bed.
No, we
I took
picked the
them
Rams to
to
win
Yeah,
the
I
division.
I
had
didn't
the
think them to
Rams.
go far, but I picked
What
them.
division is the Rams?
The West.
NFC
West.
Let me see if I can pull up my.
Is that who's in the West?
Cardinals,
Arizona,
Rams,
Seahawks, and
49ers.
Yeah, no, I picked the Seahawks to win the division.
yeah, I believe that.
And
Yeah, I picked the
I
Seahawks to
believe
win the
that.
division. I'm fuck the Rams, dude. I knew they were going to fall off.
Uh,
They might be back next
I
year.
think we all
but
picked the Saints.
And the Saints.
I think
yeah.
we all had the
And
Saints.
I
I
had
had
the
the
Saints.
Saints.
It was
I had the Saints in the bowl. I think.
I did too. I had Saints in the bowl.
I had Patriots
I
and
had
Saints
I
in
had
the
the
Super Bowl.
Bears.
I had
Jesus.
Chiefs Saints.
Bad, yeah.
I'm pretty sure I had the Saints, Patriots.
I had Chiefs Saints.
Oh, Chief. No, I might have Chiefs Saints.
I had
too.
Chiefs Bears.
And I think I said Saints are winning.
But dude, I love my pack. The Packers pick is the one I'm most proud of.
Do we want to repick
'Cause I
right
came
now
in
before the
hard.
playoffs
Yes,
start?
yeah.
Let's do a repick before the playoffs start.
I really don't want to because it's going to make me shit on my
Should be
Cowboys.
doing that in 2 weeks.
Yeah, we'll do it again.
You want to?
No, do it now.
Do it now.
Do it now. Do it live.
Do it now.
We'll
Do it live.
We don't have a full playoff picture yet though.
Yeah, we'll do it when the playoffs.
Well, we
are
know
all
it's
set.
either the Titans or Steelers. Who's picking? Any of you picking the
But
Titans
we don't
or
even know
Steelers?
if the Cowboys are making it.
Yeah. What about the Cowboys?
All right. Well, they're not going to make it. We knew that.
Let's wait. Let's wait another week.
Fly, Eagles, fly today. You got to win
I
that
need
pick.
you to be on my
Now,
side
will you
because
have the beer
tend to
next
be
week?
some sort
No.
of weird luck charm. I need you to help.
Will you have the beer next week?
The beer?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we had a
yeah,
bet,
yeah.
beer
Yeah,
or
beer.
food,
We have the Chinese food.
and yeah,
No,
there
we're
was,
going-
we have a bet.
We're
on-
gonna go on a nice date, me and you.
Mike's gonna drink them on the show just to spite you.
We're gonna have a nice date, me and you.
right here. I wanted the beer.
Oh, we're gonna put a poo-poo right here. We're gonna eat chicken fingers. Fact.
Nice.
All right. Today, what do we have for games today? Cowboys at 4
got a lot.
o'clock.
Load us
Cowboys,
up,
Eagles
load us
at
up.
4 o'clock.
Load us up. You're right there.
Let's
Schedule us.
There we go. We have Bengals.
Yes.
Dolphins.
Excellent.
Oh yeah, we got to go through our picks.
Excellent
Pick 'em,
matchup.
Pick 'em league. I took the Dolphins.
I took the Dolphins too.
Give me a sec.
Yeah, I took the Dolphins.
I missed on the. I picked Bills.
Bengals are favorite in this game. I don't understand Vegas sometimes. The Bengals are like a 2-point favorite.
I went 3 for 3 yesterday.
Oh man, I went two
Yeah,
for-
me
I went
too.
1 and 2.
2 for 3.
I took the Bucks.
Steelers.
I've had a bad year.
Steelers
anyway.
at Jets. I took the Steelers.
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 At Jets. I
Steelers.
have the Steelers.
Giants at Skins. This was a tough one for me.
Skins.
I took the Skins because they're home.
Yeah, I
Skins.
took
That's it.
Redskins.
Skins.
But I feel like the Giants have to win more than 2 games.
They have more. They have 3, right?
Well, it's gonna
they have
be
3. They beat us last week.
Who
They have
will
3.
throw
that's right.
the most interceptions today
And
between the 2 quarterbacks?
and
Daniel-
Jameis is out already.
Oh
so.
my God.
Oh, Daniel Jones is back.
He still could throw some picks.
Yeah, or he'll fumble 6 times.
Yeah, he'll fumble. He's out.
That'd be a good thing to pick. Like, who's going to lead the week in interceptions or touching?
It's already
yardage?
Jameis Winston.
Next
the
gen
already
with his
played.
4.
Yeah, but we'll just forget him on Sundays.
Next gen stats.
Yeah.
Panthers at Colts.
Colts.
Panthers.
I took the Colts.
I took the Colts, I think, too. Let me see. Dude, get out of here.
Did you pick the Colts or not, homo?
Why are you looking? Yeah, I did.
Right. I remember what
Shut
I picked.
up.
I shouldn't even tell you what I'm picking right now. This kid's only picking opposite of me right now. Ravens at Browns.
Why should already pick?
Ravens.
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 Wait.
Always
You
go
don't know
with-
who you have in the game.
go
I
with
want to make
Baker.
sure I didn't go wild on Baker Mayfield.
Get out of here,
What the
Miles.
hell is it? Ravens.
And that's another thing. Does Odell want to be out of Cleveland, or does he want to stay in
He
Cleveland?
says he
already.
doesn't.
He's
he
a
says
clown.
he says he doesn't want to leave.
He's a clown.
He says that, but you never know. What we got?
Antonio Brown's little brother.
Mm.
He's a clown.
Big brother.
Whatever. Is he older?
No,
not
but he's
older.
bigger.
Oh,
right?
Yeah, he's probably bigger.
Yeah,
It's
probably.
his big brother.
Where are we at? Jags, Falcons. I
Ugh.
took the Falcons.
Falcons.
Saints, Titans. I took the Saints.
Titans.
Saints.
Titans.
Mike always picks Titans
I
at home.
took
and
Ti- I
he's
took
always
I pick
right.
Titans every week. No matter their home
That was
road
me
or-
with the Browns last year, dude.
Raiders at Chargers. I took the Chargers.
Chargers.
Hold
I
up.
took the Raiders.
Lion-
Boy, the Chargers have been awful this year. Wow, talk about
Yeah.
underachieving.
Every year. It's because Philip Rivers is
And I
there.
Yeah,
took
but
them.
at least usually make the playoffs this year.
I was trying to find it on my list. I took the Falcons over the
Chargers.
Jaguars.
Lions at Broncos.
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 I don't remember what. Yeah, I took the Broncos. Cards at Hawks. I took the Hawks. Big.
Seahawks.
Hawks.
Cowboys
Seahawks.
at Eagles. I took the Cowboys.
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 Eagles.
Although I know full well the Cowboys have a very good chance.
21-20 Eagles.
Cowboys have a very good chance to blow this.
Chiefs. Bears.
Chiefs, Bears,
Chiefs.
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 Vikings. Packers.
I took the Vikings.
I took the Vikings at home.
Vikings.
Okay, hold on. Let me see. Oh shit! I can make a comeback on
Packers don't have anything to play for.
I'm only a game or 2 behind
they
one
do.
of you, right? Could I come all the way back to at least beat one of you?
you.
If
Get 3
Minnesota
games behind
wins,
him.
I was within one because
and then
yesterday
if Green
screwed
Bay
me. It took
loses
the
again
Bucks
next
and the
week
Bills.
and Minnesota wins, Minnesota takes the division.
Oh yeah, that's a lot
Yeah,
to happen.
that's
now.
why it's
That's
big.
why I think Minnesota still got a chance to go. Because
like-
they have that route to go.
No,
Easier
I
route.
feel you on that. What's holding me back from saying I don't think they can is, again, if Dalvin Cook's missing a game, that's going to hurt their seeding. I feel like he's probably shut down for the playoffs, or when he
If
comes
he's-
back, he's going to be messed up.
If he's shut down, yes, that changes.
He's going to be the Todd Gurley last year in the playoffs. Yeah.
Dalvin.
I can take you
Toss.
now. I got 2 picks,
Yeah,
Pat.
you ain't taking.
Different.
How many? Who's that? You're ahead by how many over here?
2.
Yeah,
I
but
got
I'm
2
already up.
different.
I'm already up a game on you from yesterday.
Is that in? That's
So?
already caked in there, right?
Yeah. You're up 1 on me, but you
How'd
picked
you-
2 others against
How are
me.
you winning? I want to know. He just goes chalk though.
Just the goat.
He just goes. He looks at the line. Who's favored? Who's at home? And he just takes
Nope.
them every week.
Nope.
I feel like it. Just listening to your picks, which isn't. Hey,
goat.
it's a good strategy, right?
goat.
They-
60. I'm 66% or something.
No, you're 64. I'm 63.
what are
Yeah,
we?
I'm
What are
not
we?
the goat.
In the fifth?
He's 61. You're 59.
That's not- Still getting 59.
I'm like 2/3.
Yeah, 145, 143. That's me and you.
the
Our
goat.
scores.
It's all good.
Does the playoffs count? Playoffs we should.
Yeah,
I don't
double
know. Does this
points.
do
We're going all through the playoffs.
Double
yeah.
points.
We'll go all through the playoffs.
Triple points. Triple points.
Like Jeopardy rounds.
Yeah.
Triple points per game.
Potpourri.
I'm all the way back.
I'll
Well,
take anal bum cover from 300.
All right, we'll wrap it up, and we'll be back next week. We'll have a better idea of the playoff picture by then,
Yep.
and hopefully some.
I don't think there's anything else left playoff picture though, because Eagles Cowboys that's going to be the end. NFC's done.
But the Titans can still get in. Are in
Titans.
the hunt.
Yeah, it could
And he
be.
said Green Bay and Minnesota.
Yeah, seeding. But I'm just saying, who's the teams that are going to be in? We'll
Should
know.
we have a wager
Yes.
on
Yes.
the,
answer is always yes to that.
Garrett Cole contract? How good that contract will be
Oh
for?
my god!
It won't be good.
I'm going to say 4 years and then the
3 or
last,
4.
last
That's
5 years.
Big money, man.
won't be good.
Big money.
324 for 9 years.
It won't be good.
Some Red Sox batters have actually really good percentage against him.
Yeah.
Believe it
He
or
wasn't
not.
that great with the
Mike, you can
Pirates,
hit.
right?
You can hit end on that. End on that.
Oh, it's
We're getting a call now.
No, it's my wife's iPad.
Well, is it connected with their phone?
Yeah.
So I just
Yes.
disconnected her call
Dude.
before she can get to it.
Yes.
I am gonna have to say
She
I'm
should
sorry
be in
to
the
her.
kitchen anyway. Get off your phone.
It rang too many times. It was annoying me.
Oh, you got a ring limit. That's nice.
That's it. All right.
Alrighty.
Well, that'll be it for today. We'll wrap it up, and we'll see you guys next week.
Yeah.
So-
Bring my beers.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Same time, same
Yeah.
place. Peace.